Once again, we're back with another episode of Triple Beam Radio. With me in the studio, I have the one and only Los, baby. Say what's happening, Los.
All right. It's your boy Los, baby, a.k.a. Exceptional Jones to the slab.
And, man, also we got the one who makes everything happen, man. The stick who stirs the drink, the infamous JK.
Yeah.
All right, man. Y'all know how we do our business, so let's get started. So, Los, man, what's been going on, man? It's been a minute since we've been back in the lab. So, how everything been going with you?
Man, it's been going all right on my end. I mean, I'm living. You know what I'm saying? Trying to hang in there. I tell you what, though, been a lot of shit happened since the last time we sat down, man.
Yeah, it has been. It has been, man. Number one, let's just touch on this real quick. We got a new president-elect.
The Trumpster that got back in
He's
there.
back
man.
in office.
Man, listen.
And the inauguration is around the corner.
Yep.
So
Yeah, January 20th.
January 20th, man, we have a new president-elect, and it is what it is. Let's see what he has to what he brings to the table this go round, man, because this is his second run.
Right.
And it looked like one of the main reasons he got reelected was this immigration policy.
No doubt. I believe that's absolutely a big thing. I think the economy was another big thing.
Yeah.
And I think there was a little bit of duping going on, right, on his end, because he done the job before, right? So he knew into the campaigning that he wasn't going to be able to fix the price of eggs and shit, right? He knew that already, but he told everybody he'd fix it, right? And they bought it. But, that's what politicians do, right? They tell you what they believe you want to hear.
Right.
And then they get in there and they basically do the best they can, But the immigration thing, I think it's
a huge thing.
Yeah, that was a big.
That was a boogeyman for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think that was probably bigger than everything else.
Immigration.
It probably overshadowed everything else, and I understand it to a degree, right? Because I'd be a damn lie if I said it wasn't a thing, even in my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't get what I would consider directly impacted by something like that, but I think there's definitely an indirect impact to every one of us. Mm-hmm. I also think it's something that needs some shoring up. I ain't saying they need to, 100% try to, secure the border and all that old kind of shit.
But it needs fixing.
I think a pathway to citizenship needs to be fixed because the one they got now been broken for a bunch of years and ain't nobody really trying to fix it. What they do is use it as a political football to kick the other side.
Is it a way to fix it? That's the thing about that.
Question. It's a tough question because it's easy to say yes.
Right.
But
people
who know what they're doing always say ain't nothing to it, right? But, man, it's a big old gap. And I don't think ain't no easy way to.
It ain't no easy way. It reminds me of, and I'm just saying it reminds me of, these two situations have nothing to do with each other, but it reminds me of the gun talk in America, right?
Yeah.
Is it a way to fix it? I don't think it is.
No. I think,
there
was a point, possibly, but I think we passed it. Because here's what I'll say to that.
And I'm not anti-2A, for the record.
And
right.
I don't even tell people that because I don't run up on me. You're going to see what I'm working with.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's all I can tell people. Listen, man, I believe myself to be liberal. But I have had conservatives, once they hear my views, tell me that I'm not liberal, I'm conservative. Don't you fucking tell me what I'm is. I know I'm telling you. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't have to be all one way.
It doesn't.
And I think what happens is the extremists on both sides talk the loudest, so that's who everybody listens to. And the rest of the people think that if you on the right side, if you claim to be a conservative, then you absolutely believe all of this stuff. And they don't.
What?
And so, if you're a liberal, you absolutely believe all this stuff, and they don't. I'm damn sure, listen, in the 1920s, right, the stock market crashed. They had a huge prohibition was going on, right? There were more police officers killed during prohibition,
right,
than any other time.
The highest crime rate in American history, right?
All easy.
Yeah, the highest crime rate in American history.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
The only thing that ever came close to it was the early 1980s and the Cocaine Cowboys. And that wasn't nationwide. But what they did is they implemented a law against automatic machine guns, Tommy guns.
Right.
Can't nobody look back at that history and say that shit didn't work. It did. People bang Biden around about the 94 crime bill. Now, what people don't talk about is the fact that our resident Jack Brooks is the one who authored it. People don't talk about that.
94 crime bill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Congressman Jack Brooks, the one who our airport named
after.
That's
right.
who authored
was
the
supposed to
fucking
be
bill.
a strong Democrat
Originally.
here in
Right.
Yeah.
That's who authored the bill. But people who were alive and adults back then will tell people, if they'll actually listen to them, that everybody was in favor of that crime bill because crack had then took over America.
And you see, you took the words out of my mouth. We seem to forget about that. It was the 86 crime, what was it, the 86 crack laws? And then the 94 crime bill, right? I know for sure the black community was begging for help.
Man, they were. And there were several, what was also included in that 94 crime bill that people don't talk about was the Violence Against Women's Act.
Okay.
That started actually putting, man, it was cats whipping their gal on a regular and wasn't doing no time. This shit put some time in their life, right?
Right.
And it didn't stop it, but it did curtail it. Domestic abuse got funding, right? You got battered women's shelters popping up all over the country as a result of this because there's federal funding for them now. Shit like that, right? But back to the gun thing, there was a 10-year ban on what they considered assault-type weapons, which was, and they focused on the AR-15 because it was so cheap. It was so reasonable to purchase that motherfucker. But when you looked around at all these drive-by shootings, that's what everybody was using. They was using 3 different weapons.
Was it Uzis?
Israeli-made Uzi,
Right.
Tech 9,
And the AR.
and the AR. Mac 11 had gone by the wayside. By the Mac 10s and Mac 11, people wasn't using them no more. They were the Tech 9 because they were cheap. Them Tech 9s, them Uzis.
Tech 9s became so
and the
popular,
AR.
dude. You remember the gun, the jewelry was being made Tech 9s back then.
Right.
Medallions and rings and shit you can get in the 90s with
And
Tech 9s.
don't get me wrong,
man.
the shit was cool looking.
It was
Because it
fly.
had them holes on the barrel.
Yeah,
That shit was really cool looking. Sorry, y'all, I threw back for a minute.
Yeah, but no, I remember if the tech was so popular that
Man,
they
that shit
started
was
having
popular,
jewelry made after.
And this bill, all it said was for 10 years, if you got one, whatever. But they can't manufacture them and they can't sell them in the U.S. for 10 years. Now, what people don't get is it takes years for them people to accumulate the data to even determine whether or not this shit works, right? When you go back and look at the data though, from 10 years after 1995, it worked. The assault weapons ban worked.
So the thing was they jumped on the problem early.
I won't necessarily say early. Early enough though.
Okay. And
Early
that
enough.
goes back to what we said about this immigration and shit. We probably at a point of no return, right?
I
just brought the gun around because
I don't think we at the point of no return, but I think the measures that are going to have to be taken
Are
are
extreme.
going to be extreme.
extreme.
And people not interested in those extreme measures because nobody in America is interested in sacrificing a motherfucking
Like
thing.
what kind of example? Give me
And
an
people not
example
ready.
of an
People
extreme.
don't want that extreme shit either, man.
And I
Because
gotta say this
What's an
crazy
example
shit,
of
and
an
I don't wanna
extreme
say it,
that
but
can
I have
that
to say
can
it.
possibly happen? Give me an example.
I don't want to, bro, because I'm not a fan of our president-elect as a person or as a politician. I don't think he's a good politician.
that's why people love him.
But I gotta say this shit. He talked about using the United States military for the process of deportation and border securement. We don't have enough, right? We don't have enough in ICE. We don't have enough. It's too much land, it's too much open area. We don't have enough resources in immigration and customs to beat this problem.
And so he would have to use the actual military. And that's extreme.
It's not only extreme, it's unconstitutional, right?
What about National
What?
Guard? That's a branch of the military, though, right?
It is.
But ain't that part of what they supposed to do?
Only under specific circumstances.
Okay.
And it's, we talking about, but is this an emergency?
So you talking about damn near
I
martial
believe it
law,
is.
right? Borderline.
it's the thing.
That's what I was
whenever
going to
you cut the
allude to,
dog
like
loose, bro. And it was
martial law.
It was a movie a long time ago called Under Siege with Denzel Washington and Brent and Bruce Willis. Tony Shalhoub was in there, and I can't remember the lady's name that was in the movie, but it was about this terrorist cell that had set up shop in New York City, and they were setting off these bombs, and they bombed the FBI building. And Denzel Washington was actually tasked with catching him. Him and his partner, Tony Shalhoub, was his partner. They couldn't get a handle on it. They couldn't locate the cell. And the matter was extreme enough that they called, Bruce Willis was an Army general. They called in the United States military and said, look, you got to get a handle on this thing. Bruce Willis told them up front, it's not something you want to do.
Right.
I'm a hammer and everything's a nail. Telling you this is a bad idea, and they cut the United States military loose against American civilians, and shit went bad fast, right? And Bruce Willis ended up getting arrested at the end of the movie because they mistakenly murdered a U.S. citizen, interrogating him, thinking he was one of the terrorists, right? And I could easily see a similar situation going on, right? So it's touchy, but I would be a lie if I said nothing needed to be done. Something definitely needs to be done, but I wouldn't try to.
Are people ready for the collateral damage, right? The mistaken identities and all that other kind of shit of people, because when you're dealing with this man,
everybody ready for it until it's them.
Right, it's gonna be some mistakes made.
Everybody ready for it until it's them.
It's just impossible for it not to happen. Mistakes happen with any and everything. You get what I'm saying,
ready
bro?
for it till it's them. It's cool as shit when the law is looking for this Mexican guy with 2 tattoos, right? And man, find them hoes. I don't care what they got to do. Find them hoes because I don't look like a Mexican with 2 tattoos. It's easy for me to say that shit.
But if they looking for a light-skinned black man with a low-cut haircut.
Right. Nah, I can't go outside.
Right.
It's a problem.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like it would be, I won't do that, to the Latin community. I won't say do whatever it takes because they did that before to us and we ain't like it none. Mm-hmm. So,
Have you ever seen some of them interviews with some people from the Latin community when they talking to like, they supported the president-elect with these policies and shit, and then they end up talking about like, well, yeah, I came over here illegally, or my parents were over here illegally.
Yeah.
Well, what you feel about? Well, I mean, it is what it is.
I got mine. Get yours. That's that's what we used to call me, you ass niggas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's but it's that type of thing happens in all kind of communities, bro. I was having a conversation with a really good friend of mine. Really good friend of mine. I love this person. They used to be doing pretty bad, started doing well for themselves, and they conservative now. And so, I think all these programs and all this old stuff, all that stuff need to go away, man. They need to be doing away with it because, all this free money and all this. You benefited from this. You fed your kids with this.
Mm-hmm.
What if there wouldn't have been there? But now that you don't need it anymore, it needs to go away. That's wild to me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I also understand the concept that charity begin at home. So if you want to do something, whatever happened to all our community activists and community leaders, right? I know what happened.
They got theirs.
I know what happened.
They got theirs.
A lot of them got theirs. But you know what also happened? Mm-hmm. People started judging them. Bro, let me tell you something. And I'm going to say this. I don't care who hear it, who feels some kind of way about it. The truth don't need defending. You talk to them old cats who's 75, pushing 80 years old, who was back in the gap for real deal in the civil rights movement. Everybody knew Martin Luther King wasn't faithful. Understand? Everybody knew the cat did business when he was on the road.
Right.
They overlooked that because of what he was trying to do.
They listened to the message. Right. The movement outweighed
everything.
His shortcomings as a human being.
The movement outweighed everything with everybody.
I mean, his wife said the same thing.
It don't matter.
You heard the story when J. Edgar Hoover presented her documentation and pictures of his transgressions. And they said, Coretta told him to his face, this movement is bigger than my
Because
marriage.
why would you do that?
Right.
Yeah, for real though.
Right.
Why would he even go do that
Right.
if he didn't know that the movement was bigger? You trying to take a shot. He got to be important for you to even be taking this kind of shot at him, right? The problem we have today, people going to judge that. And they ain't going to want to hear nothing else this cat got to say because he cheated on his taxes. And that's wild to me.
Hey, bro,
but
it's just
what
like
we
you
do.
just said. You hear them old timers talk about they preachers at church, right? And it's, preachers are a human being, so the preacher got a lot of skeletons in the
Right.
closet.
Do
But
he know the word?
I'm here to serve God. That's
Do
the
we know the
famous
word?
saying. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They don't care. He's
Whoever
a man.
this-
He's a
whatever-
man. He's gonna do what he
Right.
do.
Whatever area he's in, right? There is nothing that I've ever read anywhere that says this guy got to actually be walking this thing 100% for me to follow him,
Right.
right? If nothing else, he could show me what not to do.
Right.
But I got to be paying attention. But like, I was just reading the thread, they was talking about Umar, right? You know, that's my boy.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I don't agree with everything Umar be talking about, but I like him. Umar can talk. He know how to talk that shit. I like him, right? Umar was accepting and trying to get donations for the school.
Donations.
Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey School.
Donations.
Right? He been trying to do this for almost 20 years. Black people wouldn't give him money.
Didn't he mess up some money?
He would do speaking engagements, not to my knowledge.
I thought that was one thing I read. I thought
what I read was he didn't file the necessary paperwork with the IRS.
Okay.
So they removed his tax exempt status.
Okay.
Is that messing up money or is that making an error with paperwork though?
No, see, I had, and
Because you
again,
know who else that messed up money? You know who else that made errors with paperwork? The fucking Red Cross, bro.
yeah, no, but I thought I read
Whose
somewhere.
CEO make $14, $15 million a
Yeah, I
year,
thought
by
somewhere that he had misappropriated some
No,
funds
man.
or something.
Not only that, the
That
dude
ain't true,
purchased the school.
Yeah.
The place got shut down in 2013. He bought the building. People don't know what this shit cost though. Because they said, man, this dude done got $3 million. And it took $3 million to renovate this fucking place, man. Just the infrastructure of the building gonna cost that money.
Yeah.
Man, where they website at? Who teach over there? And whoop de whoop. The man was asking for volunteers. He couldn't get none. And that's crazy to me because we'll volunteer our time and our efforts everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But because I don't 100% agree with his vision, I ain't gonna do nothing. That's me, you shit. But that's where we at. That's why, man, we in a really disgusting place.
Now, going back to, the judging of once we judge someone, that's a wrap for them. That's why we don't have any leaders. Is that only in our community because
Absolutely.
we just put a president and we
Correct.
know his past, we
Correct.
know he's
And nobody
what
gives
he's
a
done.
fuck.
Nobody cares.
Well, I don't know if it's just our community,
Nobody
but it's
gives a
just,
fuck.
it's enough.
Here's what else I'll say.
I think
that.
it's split down the middle like a lot of times in places, man. It's just we not a majority, so we don't affect it. We don't have enough. You know what I mean? Because the thing is I seen people.
We could if we were the monolith that they think we are.
Right. And we're not.
We're not.
And because it's just like I've seen damn near split down the middle. And we in these political groups together.
Yeah.
You got white people talking crazy about the man's past. About Trump's
Yeah.
past, right?
This is what they not gonna tell you though.
Yeah.
This is what they not gonna tell you. They'll vote for him over that nigga. Still.
Not only that,
Still.
I've
talk
always
that
said
shit.
this too, JK.
They gonna talk that
It's
shit. in
easy
your
to say
face.
some shit,
Yeah.
but that booth is private.
I promise you.
You don't know who a person really voted
Promise
for,
you.
bro. That booth is private, man.
I promise you, they gonna talk this. Or best case scenario is they just won't check that box at all.
Right.
They won't check that box at all. And this is what I'll say to that. When you look at the conservative group, right? Like right now, people all over the place squealing and crying and hollering, talking about they eating each other, right? Because Trump wanted to deport everybody, and Elon Musk saying, hey, we need these H-1B visas. Because,
Yeah, it's a big thing. Elon has
we
stepped
need
up
that,
and said,
right?
and Vivek.
Yeah, Vivek Ramaswamy saying, hey, man, these Americans ain't
He
equipped
called them lazy.
to do these tech jobs.
Yeah.
And
Boy, they mad
he didn't
now.
actually use the word lazy, but in a nutshell,
That's what
basically
he
what he
said.
said was, we don't try to innovate.
Yeah.
We wait on somebody else to do it, and just, we haven't been conditioned to work that hard. Problem is, bro, he didn't tell a single fucking lie. He didn't. He didn't lie.
So now they split down the middle about this crap.
Except they not really.
You don't think so?
How you think Trump got elected?
I'm talking about, but they made these comments after he got
You
elected.
think people didn't know they was thinking like that beforehand?
I don't know, man.
What they decide
I don't know
is
if they
we'll
was-
sort all that out later.
Yeah.
Bro, Mike Johnson just re-won Speaker of the fucking House.
I seen that.
If there was any question about whether or not they are consolidated, that should have told everybody they are. Because ain't no way he should have got back in there if they wasn't.
Liberals, take note.
2 people voted nay.
Liberals, take note.
But when
Stand on
liberals
something.
get into it with each other,
They
dog,
split.
I got a transgender friend.
Yeah. Shout out. I know you're talking about.
Shout out. I used to take this motherfucker to the nail shop every week.
Shout out,
You know what
Cheryl.
I'm saying? We sit that motherfucker every week. We sit in the nail shop and talk shit, right?
All right,
That's
sir.
my dog.
That's the homie. That's the
I
homie.
don't give a damn. That's my dog.
Yeah.
If you ask that lady will tell you the black community hate me. Maybe that's not true. But they get enough of it that they actually believe it. So they off by themselves, hiding from us, because they think we their enemy. Some of us make it easy for them. Because don't get me wrong, bro, I get it. The book say man shouldn't lie with man as he lies with woman. It is abomination. But it say 5,000 other things that we completely ignore. And we focus on that shit to alienate a whole segment of our population, and I can't figure out the why behind that. And you got people that'll say, yeah, motherfuckers who do that is because they in the closet. That's not true either. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that don't like homosexuality is not a closet homosexual.
Right.
Stop that.
Yeah, I agree with
that. You know what I mean? But the idea that we attach this big old blanket to every fucking thing keeps us alienated as a community. And that's just blacks. Pairing that out to liberals, and it's the same thing. I own weapons, man. I have the ability to protect my life, my family, my property.
Mm-hmm.
I want to keep that. But what my liberal friend, my uber liberal friend says to me, so you don't care about kids dying and you vowed it. What? Where the fuck that come from? How that equal that? You know what I mean?
Well,
like, I
man.
didn't say that at all. How you get that out of that?
Well, Los,
But that's the conclusion they jump to.
can we say we liberal by definition of the word?
What I've been told is that I'm socially liberal but fiscally conservative.
I believe I am too.
And I don't know, man. Listen, I don't
want to pay more taxes.
know. Nobody does, right? But here's what I'll say. But
That isn't necessary. evil.
we had 2 motions. We had 2 propositions on the ballot in the city of Houston here recently. There were 2 propositions on the ballot in my area to upgrade infrastructure, right? Some sewage upgrades and some upgrades to sidewalks and stuff like that, right? Everybody voted, yeah, go, do your thing. No problem, right? Well, no problem. Everybody voted, yeah, go, do your thing. Cool. And then there was another proposition that clearly would have aided people in the city, and they voted no because they didn't like the person that was proposing it. And what the one thing got to do with the other? I can't reason that part through. We cutting off our nose to spite our face. And we've been doing it for a while now, but we continue, right? And we got the Latin community saying black people hate us. That's not true. What we are is a bit frustrated with the fact that y'all forgot that if it wasn't for us dying during the civil rights movement, you wouldn't be able to do the shit that you do.
Everybody benefited
The
and
Asian
piggybacked off
community.
that civil rights
Act
movement.
like we ain't shit. They lazy, they don't want to work.
But they
That's
piggybacked off
not
the civil
true.
rights movement as well. Yeah, everybody
We
did.
frustrated because y'all seem to have forgotten that when they had y'all motherfucking ass in them concentration camps during World War II, we were the ones fighting to get y'all out of there.
Yeah. On them railroads, all that shit, right? Yeah.
The Indian community.
Yeah.
Right now, they got a caste system in India. Been there forever, man. But they come over here and they gonna do one or two things. They either gonna act like they way better than everybody, or they gonna act like they way lesser. Neither one of those are true. But they've also frustrated our community because they seem to have forgotten that if it wasn't for the civil rights struggle, y'all wouldn't be allowed to own these convenience stores and these beauty supply places and these gas stations and all of this other stuff that you are allowed to own right now. There are literally programs in place to help them that they won't help us. And we already here, been here, right? But people seem to get to a certain locale and they forget where they actually came from. And I think that's
is it
been a huge problem.
is it that they forget or they just don't know? Because
I think a lot of it may be ignorance.
I finna say it's a lot of
It may be that they
ignorant
don't
people that if you if you tell a Latino or a Indian whatever about civil rights movement,
They unaware.
they unaware. They gonna think that was a black and white thing. That has nothing to do with me.
Yeah, because like I say, it was civil rights for all, right? Like, I mean, the gay community.
That's where the Rainbow Coalition came.
Yeah, the gay community benefited from it. Like you say, all color people. It wasn't just black and white. You know what I mean? It was.
But that's partially our fault too. And I'm not gonna call it our fault.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has
I'll say that was a
piggybacked
misstep with
and
us.
was able to benefit from that civil. And the ones who were the front line, which was usually the black community, looked like we benefited the less from it, bro.
No doubt. But
We shed blood for that shit.
there's a thing there, right? And this is a thing, right? And I can't knock white supremacy for operating this way, because I would have operated that way too if I were them, right? You take those guys that look like they could possibly be leaders, and you tell them, check me out, I got something for you, but this is what I'm gonna need you to do. I'm gonna need you to tone down that rhetoric, sir. Look, go here. Go out and enjoy your family. We're going to put you on TV, but I need you to tone down that rhetoric, sir. And if they agree,
They good.
you know what I mean? They good.
But if they don't agree, they might get killed.
That's what was happening.
Hey, bro, it was what was movie was that? I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. When they talked about how they went in with guards and came out with jobs.
Yeah. Bro, people don't talk enough
Yeah,
about
I mean, it was a parody movie, bro, but that was some real shit.
And that was the whole purpose of it.
Yeah,
Right? Because he knew.
Yeah.
That's something Robert Townsend knew.
Yeah.
Even then.
he said
That's
they
the
all
only way he could get that out there.
they got broke off.
If they would have been serious about it, nobody would have bought it, bro.
Yeah, they got broke
He's
off.
trying to tell too much truth there.
Yeah,
And there are people who
put medicine in the candy.
like
That's
it's-
what he did.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll tell you another one that if people actually watch it and pay attention to it, they clone Tyrone.
Oh man.
What he say? It's
Oh,
gonna be
man.
happening in real life.
Man.
Y'all go check out the
You know,
clip.
Shit, man. But
I still ain't got to watch
bro,
that
I
shit,
don't
man.
think
You ain't
man,
watched They Clone
you need to
Tyrone?
watch it.
I tried.
What?
Man, I was on a trip. I was in not Little Rock, Round Rock.
Yeah.
And I tried a couple nights to watch it,
Bro,
man.
you should watch
I
that.
tried,
You
man,
watch
and
it. It's entertaining.
yeah,
Number one.
I started
It's a
off,
good
but
movie.
I never finished it,
But
man.
there's some gems in that motherfucker.
Right, got a bunch
Big
of jewels.
gems. Big gems.
Big.
Okay.
Big gems.
Speaking of people accepting gems, should I touch on Travis Hunter and the gems?
I mean,
The people trying to throw gems and
hey, man,
jewels at him.
I'm on my Travis Hunter shit tonight.
Yeah.
If anybody don't know, that's my wife on my show. Yeah. She put her brand on. She said,
And I
"Bitch,
said that
go out there and represent."
sarcastically
You know what I'm saying? So I'm
about
out
the
here
gems and the jewels being thrown at. I was being very sarcastic saying that. But man, look, you talk about a young cat with a bunch of money in his pocket right now. 22,
Bunch of
23
money.
years old, been with this girl 5, 6. Bruh, couldn't nobody tell me shit. Not even about a relationship, just too much about life at that age. I
ain't
knew
even
it
have
all.
shit and you couldn't tell me nothing. So you damn sure couldn't
Right,
tell
you
me
get what I'm
nothing.
saying? I knew it all. You don't know what you talking about. You know, an old head come tell me, hey, BoDean, you know, man, this how, man, that was back then. We
And
don't
what
do
are they
that shit
telling
no
him?
more.
What are they telling him?
Well, the thing is, they trying to
She
say
using you, and you know this house.
She's a hoe. She using you,
And you know this
She's a
house.
gold digger.
You know what I mean? Like,
my thing is, let's look at the people who telling this shit.
But this my thing,
man, that's a whole nother conversation.
And a lot of men ain't gonna like this.
You know?
A lot of people ain't gonna like this. But that gold digging shit. You know, all other cultures are taught to marry up.
Bro, look.
So why is it an issue? And you got a daughter. You got a daughter.
I'm not letting my daughter marry no bum.
You get what I'm saying? Right. I got a daughter.
I wish in the fuck she would.
You get what I'm saying?
You know, my baby better not come home with a nigga like me. It's a
come on.
problem.
Come on,
You
man.
understand?
So what
Shit.
is the issue? Because the truth be told, historically, when you do your research, marriages was always a business decision anyway.
That's right.
That shit, that married for love shit is fairly
They
new.
have been transactional forever, all over the world.
That shit is fairly new. Marriage for love. I mean, it was back in the gap where dowries was having to be given out for a hand in marriage.
This is not happening. This happens today.
Still, okay.
All over the world.
In Islam, you have to give a dowry.
Come on.
You have to give a dowry.
It happens all
It was
over
a
the world
business.
today.
It's a business contract with.
Not only that,
Yeah.
right?
I got a son. You got a daughter. We
You
own.
are a powerful man in the community.
People will bring families together.
Right. I'm
family.
a powerful man in the community.
I own 40 head
We
of
put
cattle.
our shit together.
I own 100 acres. You own 500 head of land, sheep on 100 acres. Hey, look what we finna do.
That's what legacy is.
I got a daughter, you got a
For
son.
real.
Hey, they'll learn to love each other.
Yeah. They will be betrothed.
They'll learn to love.
We said that shit out the womb. They will be betrothed. Shit. Yo, hey, now ain't no sense in looking over there. You already with somebody.
You got somebody.
Y'all
Man. Arranged marriage.
Say, little old nigga, get on.
Like I
She
say,
with
fam,
somebody.
so if she
what it
is in it for the business side of it, so the fuck what? Number one is, how does this affect you and your household?
Bro, this guy looks like, and listen.
He looks very happy.
Man, that little dude be smiling. I see all his teeth.
All the molars.
And he
in the
got a
bag.
big mouth. That little cat be smiling, man. So whatever little mama doing, that cat be smiling, man.
She's doing
And
it well.
My deal is, how y'all know she a hoe? How y'all know she for the streets? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, people just be running their fucking mouth.
And if she is,
So what?
So what?
so what?
Because he's happy.
Because I know some niggas that's with some hoes. Nah.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you
Right
something.
now.
I'm gonna tell you something,
Ain't
bro.
got a dime to their name.
You know?
There's an old saying, can't turn a hoe into a housewife. That's wrong. Hoes
That's
make the
not true
best
at all.
housewife.
Yeah, that's not true at all.
They know how to treat a man. You get what I'm saying, fam? They know the essence. They know how men think. If they dealt with men, a bunch of. They know how to cater to a man. They know we simple,
is the other
very
part of
simple.
that.
Most of us, not all of us. Most of us are simple creatures. You want your ego stroked. You want your belly full. You want your nuts empty.
This is the other part of the conversation
That's the
that
end.
people don't discuss, well, men don't discuss.
I'm about to
Most of
say
the
something, and I might have to take it out.
Okay, that's what we got the edit for.
But men want this perfect woman and fuck around and fuck over.
all day. Now, fuck now, don't take that out.
I gotta
That
take it
needs
out.
to stay.
I gotta take it out. Cause they ain't want to hear that. That's hurt.
That
That
needs to
hurt.
stay.
and that's why we got to keep it in there.
Because I said that before. When you look at, like you mentioned earlier, look at the people who talking to him, right?
Yeah.
Look at the people who telling him what he need to be doing. Most of these cats have a history of failed relationships and marriages because they cheated, not because their woman wasn't no good. Yes, she took your stupid ass to the fucking cleaners because you walked out on her and you embarrassed her in front of the world with these nothing ass hoes. She was supposed to bust you across your head for that money.
And
yes, Tiger Woods was supposed to have to pay that woman a few $100 million.
And we all know, fam, and it ain't even about saying
So there was some dumb
nothing
ass
about
shit he
our
was doing.
background, our past, nothing like that. But we've dealt with people enough. We know this more about people. What he just said is hitting the nail on the head right there. When that shit hit public and you embarrass her, that's when it becomes a problem. She know what the fuck you doing already,
Bro, the fact that you got men walking around here thinking these women stupid enough to not know what you're doing is crazy. That's wow. That's
just like you gonna know
insane
if
to me.
it's the other way around. You got an idea what the fuck going on, bro.
But this
It's
lady
just when
know
it
what
hit,
time
when
it
it
is.
hit the news, man.
Some
when
of
it hit
these
public.
cats, you world famous.
Yeah.
You think this woman don't know that motherfuckers throwing shit at you everywhere you go? She absolutely expects.
And them
at
chicks
some
is letting
point,
her know that they are.
the nigga weak. He gon' cause I mean that's my man. I know him.
He gonna bite.
You know, he gone. He on the road
That's how I
for
got
3
it.
fucking weeks.
You know what I'm saying? That's what
Somebody
she
done
looking
knocked
at.
his head off, right? My problem with these niggas is how these hoes got your phone number and shit. Like, what the fuck is you doing, fam? I mean, you know, like. But anyway, man, that needed to be said because it's true.
Yeah.
Cats get good. A lot of these women that men are saying she for the streets, and what these women are doing is called serial monogamy. Every dude that dated, you talk about these women, yeah, she got 5 kids and 5 baby daddies, and I guarantee
She was in relationships with all of
wanted
them.
every fucking one of them to be her man.
She was in a relationship with all of them.
It didn't work.
Yeah.
But this chick didn't go lay down and let this nigga knock raw with no intentions. She had intentions. It just didn't work. You know what I mean? But it's like, we attach that shit because it's easy for us to dismiss them that way, right? We dehumanize them that way. By saying, yeah, man, this bitch got 4 kids, she 35, she for the streets. What are you? If she for the streets.
And the truth is, man.
What the fuck is you?
Like, if it was before you, it's not your motherfucking business.
At all.
It's
You
not.
could want it to be.
It's not. It's
But
not
bro,
your
let me
business,
tell you
man.
something. I'm married. I wish a nigga would come tell me about what him and my wife did 20 years ago. Man, if you, I see. You think me and you had the same woman. Nigga.
Hey,
you
man.
know what I mean? But
Hey, she was doing all that
that's
to get
some
ready for
clown
me.
shit. Yeah. That's some clown shit for you to do.
Yeah.
So
That dirty
when I
man.
say to Travis Hunter,
That's lightweight dirty man.
and I wouldn't have turned my social media off, but he does. He's going to have to learn to ignore that.
Yeah, but he messed
bullshit.
up was responding. He should have never responded.
Right.
But he young.
He
young.
is.
He young.
He is.
He young.
See, I'm saying that
And it
through,
was clearly an emotional
Yeah.
moment for him when
Yeah.
he shot the little.
I'm saying that
live
through
in his
older
car,
lens,
whatever.
older lens now.
Clear that he was emotional.
Because we talk a lot of shit, JK.
Yeah, because I done whipped some niggas.
Yeah.
For saying little slick shit.
We talk
right?
a lot
So
of shit,
I
JK,
can't say
because we
I
look at that
wouldn't
shit through
responded.
older, mature, tenured
Yeah.
eyes. The truth is, at 21, and if this was
Yeah,
around
because
back
what is he,
then,
22, 23
Wow.
maybe, right?
what? I mean, seriously, fam, what you,
It's a route.
Yeah.
fam? We've been tight now 20, 25 years.
Yeah.
Oh, we was in our 20s when we.
If we had that back then,
Come on, man.
it's a route.
Come on, man.
I was getting caught on the phone that you couldn't even text. You had a T9.
Straight up.
I'm getting caught on other phones.
Man, look
So
here.
like, I'm just saying, fam, and again, all alleged, and I'm
Bro,
not gonna say
fuck that 20s. I was 31 years old and I bucked down the bitch while I was at my gal house. You know what I'm saying? Like this
Yeah, man.
bitch on the phone all about hello. I'm trying to catch it and cut. Oh shit! You know, man, that woman bust my ass in the head with a Crown Raw bottle so fast. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
Hey, look here, I'm not gonna even say
Ain't no fucking
what we
way.
was involved in. But if we had this and just the mind frame and the mindset at the time, fam.
Yeah, it's a wrap. Yeah, I agree.
First of all, it's a
I'm
movie.
probably doing time.
It's a movie.
First of all,
And it
it's a
would be
movie.
some,
Yeah.
it'll be some old heads talk about, man, take that shit down.
Yeah.
Right? Like how we doing now. Right? And just like the young, fuck, you don't know what you talking about, man. No, I'm good.
Boy, that goddamn phone shit gonna get you caught up.
Somebody-
And whoop, I'm caught up. Cause
But
my
like-
old man them
but like
told
you say,
me
it would have been a
in
movie,
the
though.
It was
70s.
definitely a movie.
It was a
Boy,
movie.
look here.
It's a movie.
Fucking with them niggas gonna get you in trouble.
It's a movie.
Hang around all them niggas gonna get you caught up, boy. Look here. I'm
It's a
telling
movie.
you, when you don't know nothing about the night in June and why it happened now. I'm telling you, fucking with them niggas gonna get you caught up. How I catch my first case? Me and a bunch of niggas.
Yeah.
Here's what it is.
Yeah.
They wasn't lying, we ain't lying either.
No.
But he gotta hit his head if he gonna hit his head.
If
And my thing is
that's the bottom line. If this is the wrong decision he's making, he has to learn this on his own.
NIL been out
Exactly.
what, 3 years now?
Maybe.
He been on a deal since it come out, right? What he had like
And I'm not saying it's the
1.2.
wrong decision he
now
made.
he on 3 mil or something. He been on for the last 2 years.
He been having money.
So he got about
been having money.
$5-6 million, right? That
Yeah.
he done made so far. He finna. This cat finna be top 5 round. He finna be a top 5 pick.
Right.
Right? This guy's he's about to enjoy generational wealth.
Right.
Cause
Right.
like all he gotta do is not blow it.
You
and
finna
he's
look at
going
about
to
a $20,
enjoy
$30 million signing bonus he finna probably get, man.
off the ripper.
Right.
And I ain't gonna
And
put
even
my
if his
boy-
contract is
I
incentive
ain't
laden,
gonna
you know the
put my
company.
boy a business in the street, but I know a guy
Yeah.
who was drafted late in the first round.
Right.
And
Yeah.
the signing bonus was more money than I make in a lifetime.
Yeah.
Easy.
Like I say, even if the contract is incentive laden, the signing bonus is guaranteed.
Yeah. And this dude is guaranteed top 5 pick.
Yeah.
He finna have some bread.
Yeah. I mean, his first contract, like he just said,
Let's
contract
say-
just changed the whole trajectory of his family.
For real.
First
Not
contract.
just his life, but everybody he knows.
Yeah.
And I believe she knows that too.
Absolutely.
No doubt
does.
she does.
Absolutely.
And-
does.
No doubt.
and
I mean, if she didn't when they met, she absolutely knows
She
it
know.
now.
And
Nothing wrong with that.
she would be a damn fool to fuck that up herself.
Right. And that's the other man. I just was having this conversation with somebody, and it's like, bro, everything that I've seen them say about her was people projecting. Oh, look at her face, look at her body language. What? So she's not really interested in football. That makes her a bad person.
No.
She love her man. She don't love the game.
Yeah. That ain't got shit to do with nothing, man.
You know what I mean?
It might just really not be her thing, fam.
We beyond the days where motherfuckers wanted to be Cookie Johnson and whatever Michael Jordan,
Juanita.
Juanita Jordan, right?
Yeah.
They don't want to be. Women now want some spotlight, want some shine.
Make
That
her own
shit
money.
Stopped with Savannah. You understand me? Sorry, Miss James. I don't mean no disrespect, but she be chilling, right?
Oh, she in the background.
That
She play a
shit
hell of a
stopped
role.
with her, though.
She play a hell of a role. Yeah.
Because you look at Aisha Curry. I'm not even going to say that because Russell Westbrook wife background.
Right.
He been married a long time.
I didn't even know he was
People don't
married.
know.
I didn't even know he was
People
married.
don't even know.
Yeah.
But every woman not that way. Every woman not, what the word, demure. Because a lot of people didn't know what the fuck that mean. They was using it wrong, but I ain't going to get into that.
Yeah.
But I'll say a lot of women want some shine too.
Yeah.
Okay, that's her old man.
You know what
If
they
he
want?
say
They
go
want
get some shine.
They
go
want to get to
some
their
shine.
own bag
if
because they
she
don't want to
right.
be left high and dry.
Correct.
When this cat,
If he decides he want to do something different, right?
Right.
They want to be able to say, okay, go ahead, motherfucker, because I'm fine, right? And historically, women have had to fight for that, right? And don't get me wrong, in the day we live in today, the courts heavily favor them, but it had to get there.
it wasn't always there.
It wasn't always there. It was some women whose husbands left them for the younger model or whatever, and they were left penniless. But when you look at this situation, if this chick was trying to be Instagram famous when him and her hooked up, why wouldn't she still be trying to be Instagram famous? Right? And if she's put in a space where everybody focusing their attention on him and she's just a bump on the fucking log, she's not supposed to have a happy face on. But people can't put themselves in her shoes. They just judge it from afar. The other shit, she bouncing her ass on some dude in what looked like a party or a club or something. Even the dude who posted the shit said it was 4-5 years old.
Well, not only that, but
So what the
ain't
fuck is you talking
you supposed to
about?
bounce your ass in the club?
There's that. Now don't get me wrong. Now don't get me
Ain't
wrong.
that's how I go in the
I'm
club,
gonna say
fam.
this, but I can say this because I'm 52 motherfucking years old. My wife ain't got no business bouncing her ass in the club. She damn sure ain't got no business bouncing her ass on no nigga. Me and her gonna have words.
But you married.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Me and
this
her gonna have
the
words.
thing. They not married. You single until you're married.
Well, I don't agree with that. Because I mean, I'm just saying, we had a class reunion.
Yeah.
Right? And, you know, they start playing throwback music. Shout out to Shaka Sean,
Yeah.
DJ Shaka, right? Shaka Sean cranked up that old school 1980s perfect beat and Planet Rock and shit. And I got to doing the dances that we did back then, right? Niggas was pushing the button. I'm pushing the button. I come off the dance floor. I'm feeling good about myself. I done had a good time. I walked over my gal say, and I mean, she my wife now. But I understood the assignment. She see, this what we doing? I said, what you mean? Yeah, you out there throwing dick everywhere? That's what's going on? I said, no. I sat my bitch ass down. You understand me? And I chilled. And I promise you, I ain't thrown dick in the club since.
He ain't dead since.
You understand me? Yeah, I ain't thrown dick in the club since. Motherfucker gonna tell me, Los, you hen peck. Peck by the right head. Yeah. My woman take care of me. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck she tell me to do. Cause if I tell her, hey, sit down, bitch, she gonna sit down.
Yeah. But you know,
Cause she know I know something.
This what works for Travis and whatever her name. Yeah. What is her name?
And if it don't, Leanna Lani.
I don't know.
Leanna Lani.
So that's what works for them in their relationship because everybody's is different.
And even if it don't end up working 30 years from now, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Because look at the number
But
of people.
you know, people are gonna be quick to be like, I told you so.
And you know what? I would tell them, that's awesome, man. Thanks for the heads up. But I had a good time.
Right.
And you know what I mean? Keep it moving, bro. Because he looked like he having a good time. She looked like she's having a good time. Y'all have a good time.
He looks happy as hell.
Until you can't
but
do
I,
it no
again, my only issue, and it's not even an issue, but the only thing I think Travis should have done different was not respond.
The problem with that, and somebody had to bring this to my attention because I didn't follow that. I didn't know.
I think he shouldn't have responded.
Right? I thought people was just out the blue, just jumping they shit. I didn't know that they were heavy into social media.
They are. He has a Twitch.
He got a Twitch, TikTok, all that shit.
I think
they
she
doing
does
videos
too.
out their crib and shit, talking about they sleep in separate rooms.
I think they have a whole blog.
Yeah,
they have a whole blog.
So
together.
they allowed people that access to them. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't knock folks for having an opinion.
You got an opinion, but I wouldn't respond.
I initially said, why y'all fucking with this youngster? And somebody said, well, Los, they put their business out.
Yeah, I just wouldn't have responded still. I mean, you could have your opinion.
Yes, you would have. Yeah, you would.
I'm talking about at this age.
Oh, yeah, no. Of course not. Not at this age.
No,
and I'm saying,
because I'm going to tell you the truth. At 21 years old, my response would have been way worse than what Travis was.
Way worse.
I don't know. We're going to see.
You get what I'm saying?
Way
when
worse.
These views get up, and people start criticizing some of the shit we be saying.
Well, I'm a quote the great American poet Erykah Badu. I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit.
See what I mean?
So that's.
I think anybody.
I will cut somebody out.
Anybody that age would have responded.
Yeah. I think
anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody.
Would.
Like so, I don't fault him on that. You know, he's young and he got to learn. So.
He has to learn.
You know what I mean?
What he has to learn is navigating the internet. He ain't got to learn his relationship, man. You and that girl do what y'all doing, fam. Till you can't fucking do it no more. If shit stop working, tell a girl thank you for the time y'all spent together and go on about your business. All that extra shit people be doing, you ain't got to get off in all of that. It's too much to lose. Ma'am. Yeah, it's going to be chicks. They all in his inbox right now, swearing to God they better than you, right? Mm-hmm. He does not believe them, clearly. He down, right? If for whatever reason that changes, it's cool. Go on about your business. Whatever he got for you, whatever y'all accumulated, y'all do what y'all do, man, and let the rest of the world do what they do and y'all do what y'all do. Because people, all that talking people doing, man, can't nobody live your life but you. Mm-hmm. Motherfuckers trying to live vicariously through them people, and that's fucked up because they're attaching stuff to them that don't necessarily belong there.
But then again, like you say, they do have their whole life on the internet, so
they put it out there.
They did,
and that was one of the.
And things. It's something I can't fathom, but I am not a child in this era, in this society.
Right, I did not grow up with the internet.
Right.
But I'll say
I have to believe though, because I have to believe that I would be participating in it like that because. Hell, in the 90s, every chance we had to get a camcorder, we pulled it out. You know what I'm saying, fam? I remember
I wouldn't be jumping on that like that. Though.
I remember doing it, man.
But I would.
I remember doing it.
I would have
man.
been influenced into it, even if I hadn't initially wanted.
So, and I think that's the case now.
You know, I would have.
So if I could have walked around with a high definition camera in my pocket at that age. Yeah,
bro, it's people.
I'm inviting y'all into my world. Facebook. Yeah.
and on Instagram.
Every day.
I can't imagine what it would have been like
Yeah.
in
Every
our
day.
20s, right?
Every day.
Because it
And then, you know,
don't
I
get
thought
me
I was
wrong.
hot shit, too. I thought I was that
Social
dude.
media gives voice to the voiceless.
Yeah.
And, yeah, you thought you was hot shit.
I thought I was that dude.
And you can be whoever the fuck you want on
Right.
there.
I thought I was that
Right.
dude. And I'm not going to front like I didn't have some help thinking I was that dude. You know what I'm saying, fam? I didn't just pull that out my ass.
like,
I
legit.
got reinforced the whole
I was
bunch.
just going to say that. Because, like, legit, bro, I was having grown-up dealings at Woodrow.
Right.
So, you know, I'm in middle school doing
Yeah.
adult shit.
Right.
You couldn't tell me I wasn't cool. And
Yeah,
shit,
man, I
would've,
really-
you know, so.
Right.
Yeah.
And then dude, like,
Definitely.
you know, you the young buck, and then you get like, you know, one of these old heads like him back in the
Y'all see it? Y'all, come on, bro. You knew it was coming. I don't know why
you one of them
y'all.
old heads be like Lil BoDean or something like you just, you know.
Yeah, because I'm gonna do it. I'm a BoDean with 2 D's. You know,
walking
yeah.
in,
I'm
and
telling
you with
everybody.
your crew, and hold on, you the only one get called out. They don't know the rest
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
Man, come on, fam.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
head just done did this here, fam.
Yeah, because I'm walking
Just
up.
little simple
and they
shit like
saying,
that, you know?
Ain't that's OG Los?
Yeah.
I'm not an OG, but that's what they be saying.
Yeah.
Right? And then I holler at him. Oh, yeah, he just became top dog of his crew.
Yeah,
right?
man. So like, I would have, again, it's the same thing we said about John Morant back in the gap, right?
Yeah.
You give me a quarter bill
Yeah.
at 23 years old, what he's doing is light, right?
Real life.
You put me in Travis Hunter situation. You put me with my frame of mind at 23 years old, and you give me his situation,
First off,
and that shit is like
me and those girls squabbling on camera every week.
probably so.
Because I ain't got no discipline.
Yeah.
And I know this nigga inbox be litty
Yeah.
bitty. You understand me? Yeah, I'm all over the man. We on the road.
Yeah.
It's going down.
Yeah.
You understand
Yeah,
me?
yeah,
it's
yeah.
going down.
Yeah.
And
So I got-
motherfuckers gonna be posting me sleep. And they done got me.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
gotta
I'm
give.
saying?
I actually, my
Yeah,
hat,
man,
my hat is off to a lot of them young men for showing the type of discipline
Yeah.
that they do show.
Yeah.
Whether we think they tripping or not, but it's a lot more discipline than I could have ever showed at that age, bro.
I absolutely agree.
And I'm not talking out my ass. My track record proves
I
that.
absolutely agree with it. And now a part of that too, though, is because they did grow up with the internet, right?
Right.
And I think it has, while it has allowed some people to get out there actively, it's also forced some people to withdraw some. So maybe we would have been just like everybody else, right, in the moment. But
What you think?
we
Jay?
still got action.
Terrible. We would have been worse.
Because here's what I'm going to say to that, man.
Bunch of incriminating shit.
What
That's
y'all going
the
to do?
main
Even
thing.
now, though, bro. Even now. What y'all going to do when these views start going up?
Well, we in a different mind frame. You know? We
Yeah,
older.
not because we ain't got shit, though.
but
You know what I'm just saying? You know, because like,
but still, we done been through some shit to know.
I done had a lot and I done lost it all.
Yeah.
Couple times.
I want
Yeah.
to believe, right? I want to believe.
And this is factual on
that
record. I
there's
done lost it all a
the
couple
way
times.
that I conduct myself now is the way that I would conduct myself if I won the Powerball. I want to believe that.
That is cap.
But until and unless
That's
I win the Powerball, can't really tell.
So let me ask you this,
And
here, fam.
I-
No, I'm just be
I
honest
don't
with
know
you.
what
man.
the fuck
You ain't
I-
got no ignorant shit you want to get out your system?
Nah.
Okay.
I say
I
that.
can't believe that.
Having JK, I gotta clarify this to the people, and I don't give a fuck who hear it because it is what it is. My life is my life, right? I should have been shamed when I was doing it, and I wasn't. I'm saying that having spent a number of years as a gangster crack smoker,
Okay. Okay.
I had access
But you did a lot of ignorant shit already.
a lot
Yeah.
of not just ignorant shit. I had the pleasure or the privilege or the luxury of being good looking and in reasonably good shape while I was in that space. So I did a lot of player shit too, right? That normal crackheads might not have been able to do. You understand me? And like I got a partner who had access to some spaces where people had real money.
Yeah.
Right. And I would go in those spaces and do that gangster shit. And it was cool to everybody because they weren't gangsters, right? And then I go around these gangsters and I do my pretty boy intellectual thing, and it was cool because they not intellectual, right? So I'm kind of making my way around, but yeah, I done a lot of ignorant shit. I don't have nothing on the books.
I have too, but I don't think I do. But with $1 billion in my hand, something might pop up that I had suppressed.
That's what I'm saying. The shit that I would never have even considered. Yeah. Right? Because it was so far out of the realm of what I consider possibility. So I don't know. And that's what, honestly, and this is just my belief. When we sitting around and we reading articles and we listening to these people on the news say Diddy had 1,000 bottles of baby oil in the crib. Why not? He got $800 million at his disposal. This guy, I promise you, has done everything sexually that a normal man could possibly do. He had to start looking for some other shit, right? And I believe that when them guys get that kind of money, they either do one or two things. They either lay all the way back or they wild all the way out. Mm-hmm. And I mean, motherfuckers doing strange shit to us because all of the regular shit they done 100 times.
You catch me at, we say 21, 22 years old and I got 800 million. I'm going to have a personal stash of about 500,000 pills and maybe a kilo of coke.
Why, Lord?
On disposal, just on hand.
Just
that's personal. Right? You know, like if the house get raided, they're gonna be like, "Oh, he moving, distributed." No. This is personal.
No, that's me right there. You know. Matter of fact, let me get back to it.
Before y'all take me out of here.
Matter of fact,
let me get right.
But and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying any of that to justify what that guy may have or may have not done. Right? I'm not saying that it's okay because he got a lot of money to do sick shit. I'm only saying that it seems
but go ahead.
The more money they get, the sicker the shit they attempt, right? And I honestly believe it's because, like, I'm a fisherman, right?
But motherfuckers is freaky. And so that money allows you access.
Are they freaky though?
I think some people are. They
everybody is.
I think whoever you are,
it gets amplified.
It gets.
That's
amplified.
what I'm saying. He freaking so it got amplified.
Money, it gets amplified.
Freaking so it got amplified.
But do you? And that's the thing that bothers me. Because do you even have to really be freaky, or do you grow into that too? Because again, you gonna be introduced. This guy was introduced into spaces that he wouldn't previously have been.
Yeah. So I think a lot of the freaky is about availability.
Yeah, because I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna,
it's like, I ain't freaky. Well, because don't nobody want you,
right? And I ain't gonna say,
you know what I'm saying.
But I had a little lady friend. This was back in the mid 2000s, right? I had, after Hurricane Rita, I'd made a whole bunch of money. What I felt like it was a bunch of money to me at the time. I had never made that much money before. I had and I didn't have no bills, right? So I was able to put up, I worked a lot of hours for a lot of months, and I didn't have to pay nobody, nothing. So I had like a nice little chunk of money put up. Talking to this little chick, and she was like, "Hey man, let's go to," and fuck it, she asked me to go to Shreveport with her. I had never been to Shreveport, Louisiana. I'm like, all right, yeah, fuck it. We'll ride up there, right? Drive up to Shreveport. She says, I got a friend, let me call her, see what's going on. She called her partner. The partner was like, yeah, look, I'm going to this spot. I work over there. Y'all could come through. I'm going to get y'all some passes. Like, where we going? It's a little spot, nondescript, little brick building on the side of a little. It's almost like a downtown looking spot, right? It's just a little door on the side of this building. Ain't no windows or nothing. It's just a little door. We walk in there, and it's a little foyer area. And what ended, it's a Pandora's box kind of thing here. It's like there's all kind of shit going on in here. This shit was wild. This motherfucker's in here with a goat or some shit, man. It's 4 people in here, and it's a nigga standing up in the corner looking at him, jacking all. It's wild. I was disgusted by a lot of it. But I was intrigued by some other shit, right? That's not some stuff I would have thought of before I went in there. But once I saw it, I was like, the fuck? I wonder what that be like right there. Like, he sucking this nigga dick from the back. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, it was crazy. But I would be a lie if I didn't admit that some of that shit was interesting looking. It was like, this shit is interesting looking. What are those oranges for? You know, I'm tripping. But it's crazy.
I'm not finna go ahead, but I know I got a story about some oranges too.
So my mind tell me that these dudes, they get this money, they get into this new space with this money, and they get invited to this place. By a guy he cool with them, right? And he take them over there because he was taken over there, and it opened his eyes to some new possibilities. And I don't think anybody thinks that they're going to end up doing criminal shit. I think they just having a good time, and it continues to escalate until it starts bordering on the criminal.
And now, get me wrong. Now, when you go by the black and white, the letter of the law, that criminal shit gets really
it get murky.
Yes,
it does. But what's happening here is the idea that some of these people were, because it ain't the stuff that they were supposedly doing that's the problem. It's the fact that the people that they were doing it to and with were there against their
own will, right?
Exactly,
right?
trafficking.
And that's the
but you know, when you get on that federal level, man, it gets so murky. Like he's saying, is flying a motherfucker out could be considered trafficking, bro.
Absolutely,
like you fly a person out, you give them
buyer's remorse, and it's trafficking.
That's trafficking, man.
And it's one of those deals, bro.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you fly a person out, you give them some money for coming out. Say, man, here, okay, I'm gonna give you a couple grand, go shopping while I'm handling business, and tonight we gonna hook up, right? But you done flew them from Miami
it ain't
to
even
here.
gotta be that much. Chuck Berry went to the penitentiary for transporting a minor across state lines for the purpose of sex.
Yeah, that's the Mann Act. For immoral purposes. You go across state line, and it ain't gotta be underage.
And this is the fucked up part.
So you meet
the
him?
State that he was traveling from,
yeah,
the age of consent was cool.
Right.
State that he traveled to,
right.
The age of consent.
See, but now you got a federal age of consent as well, because it's different states to state.
Right. Because
when you cross them state lines, then the feds get involved.
Correct. And it's crazy, but it's like that's what it was, right?
Yeah.
This probably some shit this cat did every week.
Yeah.
Got jammed up.
So and so just look what he said. You went cross state line with the more for the intent for immoral purposes or however that reads, right? You creeping with a bitch, y'all go to Louisiana to go have some fun. You get caught up. You took her across state lines, didn't you? You can get hit with that, fam.
You go cross there, because it ain't just you go cross there and you introduce her to me.
Yeah.
You just trafficked her.
That's crazy.
If that's what she say.
Yeah. And that could be, and look here.
And you gotta fight that.
The meeting could have been already known. It was like,
right.
Yeah, I like your friend. Yeah. Well, hold on, let me go get him. He ain't nothing but 30 minutes away. So I gonna pick you up across state lines and bring you back across state lines.
Right. And I'm not trying to, we're not sitting there trying to adjudicate this guy's case, man. All we saying is that's how that shit works.
Yeah.
And it really, like a lot of this stuff get murky, man. And these guys, I don't believe that most people are walking around thinking about that or thinking like that. They're not consulting lawyers before they holler at some chick on Instagram, bro.
No.
They don't think that's necessary.
I mean, the letter of the law is so, it's black. Like how many times, and I'm not saying I did any of this shit or whatever, but I know we've all seen this. A motherfucker in the club and he slap a girl on the ass. You just assaulted her.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now you don't even slap on the ass. You grabbed her hand.
Yeah, you just assaulted her, fam.
You grabbed her hand. It's the same.
I mean,
thing.
don't get me wrong. You should keep your hands to yourself.
You touched her without her consent.
But yeah, you touched her without her consent. If she wants to push that and pursue that, you gotta fight a case now.
And I had this conversation with this cat one time, and the dude told me that I was tripping. And all I said was, I have never, not a single time in my whole life, asked a woman for a kiss. I leaned in and I waited for her to reciprocate. If she didn't appear to reciprocate, I backed up and moved around. If she reciprocated, then we started kissing. But I've never initiated sex with a woman by saying, hey, will you have sex with me? I made a move. Cat told me that's sexual assault. All I could say to that was okay. I done been raped a bunch of times then, fam. Because I done had a lot of women make moves on me. They didn't ask me.
Better be
They
like
made
Pac.
a move.
Is it cool to fuck?
You know what I mean?
You better be.
Like for real, bro. I've never asked a
better
woman,
do.
hey, will you have
He
sex
gave you the
with me?
blueprint.
I made a move. And it's not often. It's very rare because most of the time I'm conservative in my approach to women like that. Even when I was drinking, I was conservative in my approach. I ain't finna be grabbing on you. Like, cause I don't want nobody to be busting me across the head. And
Right.
I don't want to get slapped in the club. It's embarrassing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
get
So I'm
a drink thrown in your face or something.
Excuse me, motherfucker bird. I'll walk by me. My homeboy standing right next to me, grab her by the hand and say, man, what's up? You know what I'm saying? He got her. I was supposed to grab her hand. That's what she wanted, but I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Chick right behind her, you grab her hand, it's a problem, right? So, you never know, right? But I've never asked a woman, hey, will you have sex with me? I made a move or they made a move. Dude told me if I made a move without them telling me to make a move, then I assaulted them sexually.
If she
And all
says
I'm
no,
saying
no,
is,
no,
if
and
I
you
done
keep
had
pursuing,
sex 500 times,
yeah.
I done been assaulted by 200 of them times.
Yeah.
Because I'm conservative.
Now
You
know
gotta push up on me.
it's cases now where wives are filing sexual assault on their husband.
Yeah, because if she says no, it's no. Right?
Now, and even though I'll say this, I've seen some movies and television shows, right, that kind of touched on that kind of thing. I believe no means no if she really means no, right? But she the only one that can answer whether she really meant no
Exactly.
or not,
Yep.
which is crazy. But it is what it is, right? Because, I mean, I've had a woman say, what you doing? And I said, well, shit, my bad, man. I'm saying what you doing. I was going to try to, look, I was just trying to grab your hand. I thought, I ain't made no disrespect. Nah, go ahead. But what the fuck you stopped me for? You know what I mean? I was confused as a motherfucker. Chick asking me, why you not doing these things, right? And I'm like, well, I thought that might be a little disrespectful. Well, no, that's my thing. Shit, all right, then. You know what I mean? Now I know. But that's still all the way up until she say, hey, stop that. I got to knock it off. And it's a delicate line, but we got to walk it at the end of the day because we the stronger of the species. Got to walk it. It's okay for a woman to push up on me and I'm not feeling it because I can easily push her away. It's not okay for me to push up on her and she not feeling it because she can't easily push me away. So I understand why the difference is there. I think, again, that's another one of the things that get murky sometimes, and it's fucked up. But the pendulum used to be way over here, man.
And I did swing.
Where cats could do just about whatever the fuck they
Right.
wanted and not get in no trouble.
And we all old enough to remember that.
Right.
And and if I'm old enough to remember, I can't imagine 20, 30 years prior to me.
Right. Like legit.
Like you could probably do like what they used to show on TV with the caveman and grab a bitch by a hand, drag her to
For
the
real.
crib, probably, and it would be nothing.
Because
like I
cats
say,
feeling on their secretary, popping them on the bottom
Yeah.
and shit. What they gonna do?
right,
They say something, they lose their job.
right. Like
So
I say,
it's like, now the pendulum way over here.
Yeah,
When
because-
you look at a motherfucker funny, tell a dirty joke around it, and it's
Right.
sexual harassment.
right,
We got to eat that because we created this atmosphere, right?
Right.
And eventually the pendulum will swing back down to the middle and things will be balanced out some. But until it does, there are going to be some guys suffering on this end.
right.
Just like there was some women suffering on this end. And, it is what it is.
Yeah, so Los, man, we back, y'all. We had to take a little intermission, man. I want to get into some local news, man. We got something that just fresh on the press from was it last night before last, man?
Yeah, I think night before last, a couple of nights ago.
Man, we're going to talk on this briefly. We're not going to go too deep. We ain't trying to incriminate nobody. We just going to go what's the surface of what's been released so far, man. It was this incident at this bar, I'm assuming what it is.
Yes, like the club, Lil Woodrow's, I think.
In Beaumont, Texas, man. 2 young ladies, man, were being detained. One of them was fleeing the scene. Police officer on the scene ran, tried to jump in. She's in a convertible. So when she's pulling off, he tries to jump into the convertible. She's driving off. He misses. He slips, falls off, hit his head on the concrete. Say he knocked himself out. Got some had some.
Somebody said there was a brain bleed.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure.
I don't know any of that part because watching the video over and over, it didn't look like he hit his head to me. But I can't tell that man he wasn't injured.
Yeah.
But it didn't appear that he hit his head on the concrete when he fell. That she was fleeing is subjective too. I think that's going to be determined by the courts or whatever, right? Because she never looked back, right? Usually, if somebody running from somebody, they're gonna kind of look back to see if the person's chasing them or whatever. She didn't appear to look back till she got in the car. It looked like she glanced in her rear view or something like that. But it's a lot going on in the video. My bigger thing with us. And when I say us, I mean in the minority communities. We are consistently shown that the justice system in America does not work the same way for us as it does for the majority of our population. And we delude ourselves into believing that it does. Sometimes I think people get a certain amount of status, financially or socially, and they start thinking that everything equal. It's not. Perception matters, and when you're dealing with people that don't look like you, there's a perceived bias, right? We all got it.
Right.
I mean, when you're having a conversation with somebody tell you this thing happened, almost immediately, we are going to try and associate the race and gender of the person involved in the event.
Absolutely. When you hear about a school shooting, what you automatically think is a certain race.
Right.
Right. I don't think that happens all over the world. I believe it happens in America, though, because of that foundational race.
A mass shooting, you think about that. You hear about a drive-by, you automatically thinking it's...
Right. You're not going to believe that there's some 20-year-old white guy.
Right.
Right? You're going to think it's a black gang member, right? It's just, there's conditioning that then went on, right, through our media. And some of it's through our experiences, right? But people don't understand that part of it. But it goes towards everything else. Like, none of this stuff's just cut and dry. Ain't nobody just looking at the law on paper and applying it, without bias. They are. So it's like it's 2:00 in the morning. For whatever reason, whatever was going on, there's a disturbance in the parking lot. Somebody called the police. The fact that a single officer showed up is troublesome to me.
Right.
I'm having a hard time understanding why he was there alone, right? But he appeared to have been.
So he
there
wasn't
alone.
on the scene already. He wasn't security for that
I
place.
don't know.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying it's troublesome to me. But I don't know that.
Okay.
But he appeared to be alone.
Right.
Right? There was some sort of disturbance. Because there were several angled videos showing, the initial video showed one part of it, right? And then somebody else posted another video that they had, because initially people were saying, well, she wasn't even a part of it. She was just walking away. And then somebody posted another video
that showed her being detained. Showed her being arrested in the beginning.
Right. Looked it like, and I'm not saying she was being arrested, but it looked like she was being detained.
Huh.
The other young lady was in the passenger seat of her car, climbed out of the passenger seat of her car to go back, and I guess to try and, advocate for her. For whatever reason, I think she got into it with the officer. He decided that she had done something that warranted her arrest. So he started handcuffing her.
Then the original one walked off.
He turned and said something to her that sounded like, "Stay right there." I don't know if that's what he said. It sounded, but he said something to her. And while he was putting the other lady in the back seat of the car, old girl decided that was time. She was going to make her exit. She turned around. She started walking. When he got the other chick in the car and looked and noticed that she was leaving, he started to jog after. Now, I didn't hear him yell anything, stop, or anything like that.
He didn't.
Didn't look like he said nothing.
But
right?
he
But
literally
he started
jumped.
jogging after.
Yeah.
And tried to, I don't know what his mindset was.
Because that's another conundrum. That's dangerous. So, perfect world, you hop in the car, you actually get into the car while the car is driving off. What is your next move, officer? Are you about to fight with her over the steering wheel to try to detain her? Or what's going on here, man?
So here's the thing, and this is where I have to defend the officer, right? If she was legitimately being detained, why was he detaining her? Did he believe she was under the influence? If so, there's a reasonable expectation that he tried to stop her from operating a motor vehicle.
Okay.
If she under the influence. If he believes her to be under the influence, he can't allow her to operate legally. He can't allow her to operate a motor vehicle, right?
Right.
Maybe that was his mindset. I mean, it's a convertible. It seemed like an easy jump, right? I done tried to make a jump before, didn't quite get there, right? The problem I have with that is people are focusing on that. But if he believed she was fleeing, her fleeing created the rest of that. And people don't get that part. The other piece is, and a lot of people not going to like me saying this, but I'm going to say it because people need to hear it because it may keep them out of trouble. There's a perception that goes along with this stuff. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't care where she works. I don't care what her profession is. I don't care how many children she has.
You
I
out
don't care
at
how
2
much
in the
money she
morning
got in the
at
bank.
the club.
It's 2 in the morning,
Yeah.
and your ass is out on camera. Now, if that's the style, whatever, right? But there are people in this world who sit on juries that don't think that's appropriate,
So the jury's already tainted.
right?
Yeah.
They don't think that's
The jury,
appropriate. So in
because
their
this has been
mind-
released. I mean, and
Right.
I'm not even. It wasn't released by the news or no shit like that. But this shit is just plastered all over social media,
Right.
bro.
Yeah.
Right.
When I
It's
went on,
so plastered now that Ha Ha Davis done made a voiceover.
right, I done
Shout
went.
out to Ha Ha.
Shout out,
Call those
Ha Ha
Davis, do
Dave,
your
yeah.
thing, boy. But
On the website, the news website, in the comments, people have posted videos in the comments.
right, it's a lady in Houston who does. She's an independent journalist. She calls herself Grizzy. Grizzy's Hood News. Shout out to Miss Grizzy. But Miss Grizzy got the videos and posted it.
So, like I
to
say,
Houston page.
the jury pool is already tainted, bro. Because all
And-
this.
I'm not even going to say tainted. There's a perception that is taken hold already in the minds of some and in the minds of others. The problem is, if you honestly assess who sits on juries,
It's not niggas.
right?
We try our best to get up out of jury
Right.
duty, right?
And it's
not
generally
niggas.
going to be people who have a positive view of law enforcement, right? So they see a guy trying to do his job, and this lady running from him.
Yeah.
That may be
She's
that's how they
guilty
see it,
in their
right?
mind already, bro.
And
like she don't have a chance
Right.
in those people
Not
eyes,
only
bro.
do they see it that way, but they also see what they perceive as a person of low moral character. Because it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you don't have no clothes on outside. And it's like, from what I understand, this lady has a really good
and
job.
on top
right?
of that,
she has beautiful
the
children.
way
you know,
the
and-
cop fell and was lifeless, the jury
It
gonna
looked
see
bad.
that too.
It
Jury
looked
gonna see
bad.
that too, and they gonna be like,
So
"Oh
let me
no."
ask y'all this. Let me ask y'all this. Okay, so she was the one being detained in the very beginning, right? So then the friend came up. The friend ended up getting detained, right? So
So the friend ended up getting arrested.
Right. So the
and
friend
that's
got arrested.
There's a distinction there
Right.
that people don't get. Detainment is them wanting to talk to you. You can't leave, but you're not under arrest. When he started putting handcuffs on her, she was under arrest. The arrest supersedes the detainment.
So what in the beginning
So
with,
you gotta
with,
deal
with
with
the
that
first
first.
chick? So she wasn't under arrest at first. He wasn't trying to put her in cuffs.
No, I would think she would have been in handcuffs.
Because he
if
took
was
her
trying
out
to
the
put her
car.
in handcuffs.
Because I saw that video.
You
He
know?
took her out the car,
Yeah,
right?
I think he was
So
talking
let me
to
ask you
them.
this. He had her, so say she's being detained and he arrested another one. Even if he didn't tell her to stay right here, is it by law, is she supposed to stay there on the
She's
scene?
not obligated to unless he tell her to.
Unless he tell
by
her to.
law.
Okay.
That's why I said, and I didn't hear him say it, but he said something.
Okay.
So and I mean, this guy's in the hospital, so his statement's not out there, right? He hasn't completed his police report or anything like that because he's been in the hospital, right? But a lot of this gonna hinge on what he say.
Which I'm
Because at
pretty
the end
sure
of the day, he's a
the
police
police
officer.
department is getting
You know?
their legal team
said-
Right.
and getting them prepped.
But
what
at the
to
end
say.
of it, bro, this is a police officer. And he's performing his duty, right? The young lady that was being arrested, the charges that they've levied against her, one of them was obstruction of official duty. So he had to have been doing something that she was obstructing for him to decide she needed to be arrested.
Which was
could have
arresting-
possibly been
arresting old girl.
arresting or detaining the other person. If she was being detained, then she shouldn't have left. Because if you detained until they tell you you're free to go, you're not free to go. You know, and I think, man, a
So
lot
him
of the
not
time
saying
people
anything is not.
don't- No,
That's not the
if
te-
she
that's
had
not
been
her-
if she knew prior to that moment
Right.
that he was discussing something with her, or he was asking her questions, or he was trying to get a statement from her,
Right.
then she was already being detained,
Right.
and she knew it. But I don't know what she knew, right? What I absolutely know that a lot of people don't seem to be getting is that intent followed a bullet.
Right.
People say she didn't know he was going to jump on her car today. He did that to himself.
He was
No,
injured while you were evading.
that is it, and that is all.
Yeah, you got a charge.
The intent is not required for assault.
No.
If I hit you with my car, it don't matter whether I intended to hit you or not. I hit you.
Right.
Right? They're going to parcel out the rest of that stuff later, and there may possibly be a potential of reduction in the charges,
Right.
but they ain't going away because you didn't mean to do it. That's not how this shit works. People think this is
Yeah, I mean,
it's
murder,
some kind of
manslaughter.
daycare. This is not
Right.
Murder
How this
manslaughter, right?
works,
You
man.
still got a
You
charge.
still got a charge.
right.
Right.
And it's one of those deals where, like I say, I believe a lot of it's going to hinge on how that officer viewed the situation as it was unfolding. His statements are going to determine.
And
I hate
like
to say it this way,
and like
but
I
they're going to
said,
determine the course of that lady's future.
he's probably getting prepped by the
The union reps.
exactly.
That's possible.
So he know exactly
But
what
the
to
other
say.
possible piece is, right, and I'm not saying I've
That's what
seen
the
it a
union reps are
1,000
there for.
times, right, but I have seen it. The other possible piece is this guy watches this video and says, you know what? I probably made a bad decision there. I don't want to ruin the rest of this lady's life because I made this
I
bad
doubt it.
decision, right?
I doubt
Can
it.
we, I mean, it's possible. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying that there are possibilities exist.
They do.
What people need to understand, though, is there's no scenario. There's no set of circumstances where this lady walk away from this without, I didn't do nothing wrong. People need to stop that bullshit. That's not true.
Cause she gonna have something. She got a charge.
It was very
Whether
bad
it's a
judgment.
misdemeanor or felony, she gonna
It's
have
something.
And
It's something. Yeah.
people need to understand that poor judgment from us is criminal. Poor judgment from other people is not. And I'm telling you, man, this idea that justice is blind and equal is bullshit. It always has been. And every time we convince ourselves otherwise, we get bust in the face with a fucking example.
And we get a reminder consistently.
The police department saw that video, and so did the district attorney's office and the arraignment judge, and they set her bond at $250,000.
And the DA does what they want, when they want, how they want. That's the DA.
Bro, just 2
They
days
the ones
ago,
gonna make the determination of
just
what. Yeah.
2 days prior to that, intoxication manslaughter, and a $40,000 bond attached to it. Why the difference? This lady's a flight risk because she fled detainment. Come on, man. I'm not going to call her a pillar in the community because I don't know her, but what I have heard is that she's got a really solid job.
She has a career.
She has multiple beautiful children that she raises in that community, right? I don't see her going nowhere like that because that's the reason for high bail is supposed to be
to keep you in there.
right, so that people don't flee the jurisdiction. There doesn't seem to be the potential for that happening here. So why the high bail? It seems punitive, right? I'm gonna punish you with this high bail, and I don't know that that's right.
No, it
But
ain't.
what I be trying to explain to people is it don't matter.
No, but this is the thing. Well, he's saying all this, and this is shit we know already.
Or we
Yeah.
should know.
You get what I mean, bro?
Yeah.
But we the same motherfuckers be trying to argue with the laws because they say, let me see your driver's license. Why you pull me over?
Yeah.
Show your fucking driver's license. Driving's a privilege, man. If they ask you for it, you got to show it to them. If you walking, that's another conversation.
Yeah.
But people don't know enough about the law to really know
Because
that
you're
shit,
not finna win
man.
that battle on side of the road, right? Yeah, I mean, if you know this already, what's the old saying? If it's a pothole in the street, you go around. You don't drive over and fuck your car up and say, well, man, it shouldn't have been there.
We know it's there.
Yeah, that's on you now.
We know
Right?
it's there.
So act accordingly, man. It's our job to maneuver
Or at
around
least
that
we should
shit.
know that it's there.
Right.
And this is not,
It's
I'm sorry, but white people misconstrue when I say this kind of stuff as me saying it's racism. It's not racism. It's the privilege of majority. It's all it is. It's not me saying every white person looking at this and thinking this lady's a criminal is racist. That's me saying that if the majority of people associated with this process looks like me, I'm going to get a different shake than somebody who's not part of that majority.
another factor that comes into play when you say, you know, a lot of black folks look at it and think she done nothing wrong. Another factor that comes into play is that for a very long time, police officers have became the enemy.
Yeah.
All right?
We are definitely over-policed.
But
There's no doubt about that.
very long time, they have become the enemy. So I think it's more so of a defense, some kind of defense mechanism within the minority community.
I've had
that's
that
taking
conversation
it.
with
You
people.
know what I
They
mean?
say,
Like,
well, if he wouldn't have ran, the police wouldn't have beat him. No, sir, we run because they beat us.
Right.
And I'm
Well,
right there with you.
A lot of the mind, it's all reactionary.
Yeah. But they beat him because he ran from
It's
a
all
man.
reactionary. It's
He
all
ran
been
because
we've
they
been
beat us.
conditioned a certain way because of the past
Yeah.
the past treatment, right?
Because I used to run from the police every time they came
You
around,
died.
bro, and I wasn't even doing nothing.
you don't come out the womb saying
'Cause I
fuck
was
the
afraid of
police. It's your conditions. It's not every person. It's not every black person you meet is
Ain't
gonna
no
say fuck
nature
the
in
police.
that.
It's
There's no nature in that.
right. It's
rebellion
the
against
ones
authority. It's all
who've had
nurture.
these incidents
Yeah.
who've been treated a
all
certain way.
nurture.
now tell me, if that officer would have been black, are we still in this same situation? Does anything change?
Yeah. I think slightly things may change, but largely no.
I mean, it's still the
Because
police.
I don't think when you talk about the police, it's blue.
Yeah, it's blue.
It ain't white, black, brown. It ain't yellow, it's blue.
Yeah.
And when you talk to people who
It-
are potential jurors, right?
it's
they
blue.
just see a policeman.
I think it's blue within the police department, but it damn sure wasn't blue when they killed George Floyd. They shot that kid in Baltimore. It wasn't.
Well,
they-
Todd was convicted too. So I don't know, right? I think partially yes, but I think partially no too. I think it depends. If she was white and the officer was black,
Be a different story then.
I think we would be having a different conversation then.
And you know, man, it's
But a black
it's a tough thing for me
person and a black officer, I think it's the same as a
to cast a
black person
wide
and a
net on
white
police
officer.
because I got skin in the game personally, and being that I have skin in the game, that really did change my outlook on police.
Oh, no doubt.
Because prior to that, I was a fuck the police type of dude.
No doubt.
But I got skin in the game, and I want him to come home safe every night.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying, bro?
I have a healthy respect for what they do.
right.
I wouldn't do it. I have a healthy
No.
respect for what they do.
No.
But I also understand human nature. And I understand that these guys and these ladies, they ain't robots. They bring their biases to work too.
Mm-hmm.
They bring their baggage to work.
They do.
I think
You know,
that's with any
They
career.
bring their nervousness. They bring whatever tribulations they going through at home. They come to work with
And
that
you know,
shit too, right? They have bad days.
They are human beings, and
Problem I have is we don't hold them accountable
right.
for their bad days the way we hold everybody else and every
Right.
other profession accountable for their bad
Well,
days.
and you know, it's a big excuse. You see a lot of people who are like pro blue, like at any means, right? By any means, and it's like, well, don't let one bad apple spoil the whole bunch, right? But you dig deeper into that saying, what do you do with that bad apple? You throw that bad apple away, right? You don't keep that bad apple in there, right? And that's not
damn
what
sure don't just put him in a different bunch.
right. That's not what being right.
You know.
Right.
And the other piece to that is, well, this guy's got a split second to make a decision. So does a fighter pilot. If he off the mark, he's gonna pay for that.
Mm-hmm. Bruh, it's split second decisions we make in life every day.
Every day. But then people will try to run the statistics down to you and say, well, law enforcement has 1 million interactions a year and they only have this many. But no.
That's what's reported, number one.
Right.
Because how many bad interactions you've had that was just between you and that cop, bro?
Man, look.
I've never reported nothing.
Never.
Scared to.
Never.
I've never lodged a complaint with the police department.
I'm scared to.
And there are officers out there who know that I should have.
Right.
Right? In and out of their station. Right here in Port Arthur. But I told myself that was part of the game. Mm-hmm. Right? If I'm a criminal, right? Because again, I ain't ashamed about my past. I'm a criminal. I'm on the block. I'm trying to sell dope. The police pull up. Everybody break out running, right? I take off running. If they catch me, they get to kick my ass a little bit because I was running. Mm-hmm. I expect it.
It's crazy how we normalize this.
I normalized it. I expected it.
That is insane.
It wasn't right.
That is insane how
right?
that is
what
normalized.
What they did to me was illegal.
If you get caught, you're going to get your ass
right. If you run, you know that's part of it. You got to take that ass with because you made them chase you.
And like they would say it. And it was expected. Man, that shit was wrong. So if you an officer out there, that ain't right what you're doing.
Right.
It's not supposed to be part of the game. You're still supposed to treat that individual with humanity and respect. You know what I mean? But I normalized that shit. I normalized it so much that even when I wasn't doing wrong, when the police came, I would leave.
Still run.
I'm going to run.
Yep. Still run.
And I
ain't doing nothing wrong, fam. Still run.
Yep. And it's crazy, but it's like...
Still run.
And then
still
I get in a
situation
up
where when they get behind you in your car, you ain't doing
nothing. You ain't got license, registration, everything straight. You
for real,
you look in the rear view like, oh shit.
Totally legit, fam.
Bro, I'm driving around Port Arthur in a company truck.
Man.
Talking about I'm working for this organization. I'm in one of their vehicles. Got signage on it and everything, man. And I rode through a stop sign, is what they said. I didn't actually roll through the stop sign. There were hedges, which is a violation of city ordinance that they didn't want to address. But there were hedges on the corner of the street that was blocking the view of oncoming traffic. So I had to inch out to see oncoming traffic. Once I saw that it appeared to be clear, I hit the gas to continue across the thoroughfare. They said that I rolled through the stop sign. Okay, man. I disagree, but I'm not finna argue that on the side of the road. But when they pull me over, one of the things that I'm gonna always do, because it was power windows, and I put both of the windows down. I had my license and insurance in my hand, right? I look out of the driver's side rear view mirror and I feel something. And when I turn around, the officer on the passenger side got his gun out. Bro, what the fuck are you doing? He tell me this is for my protection. What the fuck about mine?
Right.
You telling me...
Because if they get jumpy, they pulling the trigger.
...that you're required to pull your weapon for a motherfucker rolling through a stop sign? Man, you full of shit. Well, the tint on your windows is too dark. Oh, so that required you to pull your weapon.
But I got my windows down.
My man, seriously, what the fuck are you doing? Well, we just had an officer involved shooting last night. What that got to do with me, though?
Right. I'm sure y'all got that person already.
I'm in a company truck, man. Yeah. Y'all didn't run this thing for y'all, you know what I mean? Like, what y'all doing? The guy on the driver's side is all apologetic. And I'm saying, what the fuck is you talking to me for? You need to be talking to your mans over there. Because even while you saying all this shit, that bitch still got his gun out. I didn't lodge a complaint with that. Probably should have. Problem why we don't lodge complaints is because we don't think they're going to go nowhere.
Not only that, you scared of the retaliation and the repercussions.
There's
You gotta
that
live
too,
here.
right?
You gotta live here.
You
with
still
it.
gotta live here,
You know?
man.
It's
Now,
fucked
see,
up
I've
that
said
thought
that-
even comes, right? But it's there for us.
We've been in the political groups, and I've said that a million times, and it just like I said something blasphemous. I'm like, bruh, well, you should have filed a complaint. I still gotta live here,
So this is my problem with that.
right?
Because everything we just got through saying, everybody that looks like us
Understands
knows.
this, right?
So how can you not look at the people that's defending her and be like, I see why they defending her.
Because they're supposed to know better. The defense goes nowhere. Look at what you defended. If this lawman had literally walked up to this lady out the blue and said, hey, come here, and tried to grab her and fell on his face and hit his head, okay, cool. She drove off with the man hanging on the back of the car,
That she
man.
didn't know was there.
You know?
But like you said,
I had a convertible before, bro. They are small cars.
yeah.
She felt it.
But not only that, she was prior to all of that, she was being detained.
And after that,
So
even,
say, like,
all
so
that
say.
noise
Right.
was going on, right? Cool. You felt it. No, you did. You know you did. I know you did. You felt it. Because again, I owned a convertible, very similar to the vehicle that she had. I own one of those. Somebody jump on that thing, I'm going to feel them jump on that, bro. She did not stop.
Matter of fact, burnt off faster. You saw that shit after you fell. Huh?
She didn't stop. I ain't going to say she burned off faster, but
So
she didn't stop, right?
She didn't stop at all.
So the opportunity for you to render aid was there and you didn't.
Which is also a crime, right?
You know, to me, failure to stop and render aid
If
is
she
the result
knew,
of an accident or something, right?
If she
would
knew.
have hit him,
Yeah.
I could see them saying she needed to stop and render
But if
aid
she knew.
as a criminal offense. But again, assault doesn't require that intent. It don't matter what she knew. And the people that's going to be watching that video, they going to see through different eyes than us.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's all I was trying to explain to the people on the internet.
Yeah.
They in the comments with you, telling you how they see it, and you're not believing them. Why won't you believe them? They are telling you how they see it, and you don't believe them.
And they're going to pick a jury that's leaning that way. You know how they go. They're going to pick a jury leaning that way.
That's what I'm saying too. Like, you got one side that's defending her, but you also got one side that's defending him, not for the reasons that, yeah, what she did was wrong, but for the reasons that he's white.
That's possible, but I can't just put that on them. I
That
gotta look at it from the perspective of the guy was doing his job. It's his job. Because here's the thing, and there are two scenarios that I'm gonna run to you guys right now. Check this shit out. Y'all pay attention to what I'm finna say because it could have went either fucking way. No, it could have went three ways. I'm gonna say two. The first one is he see this lady taking off, getting in that car. He got the one. He put her in the back seat already. He just let her drive off. She get up the road and she kills somebody.
Mm-hmm.
That's on him because he let her leave the scene. He had her detained and he let her leave the scene. She go up the road, she get in a wreck, she kills somebody. That's on him.
Even if he try to radio in?
It's on him. He
Still
let her
on him.
leave the scene. Right? People saying he Bo Duke from Dukes of Hazzard, that old stupid ass shit, blah, blah, blah. You know what he also could have done? He could have drew his weapon and fired on her because she was fleeing. Then we would have really been talking. He had a legal right to do both, bro.
To fire on her?
Absolutely. This is the same reason that I tried to explain this shit to people. This is the same reason the security guard got off when he shot that girl in the back seat of that car when them guys were still in the bill on
He was
69
using lethal force to stop the
and
commission
Jimmy
of a
Johnson.
crime. Right. I remember that.
Because the penal law in the state of Texas says that it is okay for an individual to use lethal force if they reasonably believe
to stop the commission of a crime.
that's the only way they can stop them.
That's on the books. I remember it was a bunch of me and him, because we was on the same side of that. It was a bunch of arguments going on, and like my whole thing this was my statement here. It was like, I'm not saying what I think is right or wrong. I'm telling you what the letter of the law states.
Period.
Here. And that's all we can go by.
Period, man.
Because the law and morals don't always line up.
It's black letter
but
law,
it's black letter. It's right there. Do I think he was right? No, I don't think he was right. But state of Texas is,
and I told everybody
he was within his
the
rights
penal
to
code
do so.
specifically said as long as that individual reasonably believes that he couldn't stop them any other way,
you're allowed to use lethal force. He was
allowed to use deadly force.
Yes, you are.
Not only does it say that, bro, it specifically identifies the type of crimes that could be being committed in the moment for an individual to do that. And one of the things that was listed is theft in the nighttime. That's exactly how it was stated in there. Theft in the nighttime.
Not evading with a motor vehicle.
Class B or C misdemeanors. Fit.
Fam. Look here, man.
I mean, excuse me, B or A misdemeanors.
Here,
fit.
State of Texas, long as it's after dark, you could burn somebody for criminal mischief on your property. So
People
say
don't
one of these little kids
bro.
are out here toilet paper in your house or toilet paper in your plant, your bushes and your shrubs. Long as it's at night, you could burn one of them, bro.
People don't read,
and that's
going to
be a no bill when they go in front of the jury.
They be listening to other people on YouTube, and they need to really go look that stuff up.
That goes into the castle doctrine.
Because it's a lot in there that probably should have been taken out a long time ago, but never was.
Right.
Because we ain't got to go through all that hassle of rewriting legislation. We just won't enforce that part, right?
But
then
niggas don't know the law.
When this small little thing happens and they need to rely on it, it's still there.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that to say that they do it on purpose, bro. I'm just saying under these circumstances, there was a disturbance.
Yeah.
Right? Something that prompted a call to the police department. This officer was in the process of arresting somebody. In his estimation, according to the charges they filed, there was an obstruction of his official duty. That's enough. That individual decided to flee. I don't know that she was fleeing. She might have just said, well, my sister gone to jail. I'm going to just go home. Or let me go get her bail money. I don't know what her mindset was when she was walking away. But the moment she got in that car and took off, if he believes she was evading detention, there's a wide range of actions that he's legally allowed to take in that moment.
Because, hold on now. Now, tell me if I'm right or wrong here.
Wide range, man.
Evading detention in a motor vehicle is a felony, though, right? I know on foot is misdemeanor.
Evading with a motor vehicle is a felony.
Yeah. So,
and when you look at the statute, when you look at the penal code, it specifically identifies Class B and A misdemeanor, any felony, but Class B and A misdemeanors also fit. If this individual reasonably believes that the only way he can stop him is to use deadly force, it's legal. That ain't saying he can't be charged. Saying his defense is that. But that's also why that fucking security guard was no-billed. And people was all it's racist, it's racism. It's not what it is. It's the law.
Joe Horn, that was that cat name. Was that in Pasadena or Channelview? He killed the man breaking into his neighbor's house.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Remember that? Mm-hmm. Back in the 2000s.
They wasn't breaking in there. Well, they may have been. It was two teenagers, though.
Okay, but
old
he shot.
dude.
Old dude. Remember he shot and killed him.
Dude.
Matter of fact, he was on the phone with the dispatcher, wasn't he?
Yep.
Right. But
because again, and this
he wasn't charged.
Again, what people need to understand is the folks that you bringing this in front of are law-abiding citizens.
Mm-hmm.
And they gonna follow it.
Yeah. And they have a favorable perception of the police.
Yeah.
They believe and understand that the police got a really hard job to do. They out here, look at this parking lot. It's 2 a.m. It's chock. There's 200 thugs out here. That's what they see. because they don't come outside at 2 in the morning. That ain't shit to me and you because we used to come outside at 2 in the morning, right? But imagine somebody who does.
Just leaving the house at 2 in the
Bro, my wife don't come outside at 2 in the morning.
Just leaving the house, man. Yeah.
That's not a good look to her. Yeah. And she black just like us. But she finna look at that scene and be clutching her pearls.
But you see, and that's why.
Because she ain't grow up like that.
That's why it's important to do your civic duty and serve on the jury when you have the opportunity to. Because your vote or your voice could be the difference.
Because that perspective is necessary. Because everybody that's out there ain't a thug. Everybody out there ain't hooking. Right? Most of those people out there, law-abiding citizens, was just having a good time, man. They hanging out and get ready to go home and go to work the next morning and raise their kids and do everything that you doing.
In my eyes, could sway that jury. Could be the difference between that person going to jail or that person walking.
Legit. Right. But that take too much effort. We want somebody else to do it for us. Right. That's our fucking problem. Right. We want somebody else to do it for us. We want a pass because of our past trauma, and we not getting one. They ain't giving us that, and they done proved that over and over and over again. You ain't getting a pass for generational trauma. Suck it up. Work through this shit and heal. And we won't do that as a community. What we do is use it as a crutch to continue fucked up negative behavior, man. Can't nobody tell me that wasn't a bad decision. It was terrible. Like, don't talk to me about the decision the officer made. We already know what they gonna do. Right.
It was a terrible decision.
You know?
Terrible.
So it's like, if we know what they gonna do, we gotta make better decisions. Right. And like I told him earlier, so when the lawman pull up on me, I ain't doing shit. Bro, I'm a corporate executive. I'm standing outside of an occupational clinic waiting on one of my employees, smoking a cigarette. Police pulled up and say, "What you doing around here?" Now, I got a logo on my shirt. I said, "How can I help you, man?" "Well, what you doing around here?" "How can I help you?" "You got some ID?" "What do you guys need?" But I said that to him while I was pulling out my ID. Because if I don't show him my ID, he finna escalate this shit.
Well, didn't the law just pass where we got to show that now?
It's only when you're driving. Only when you're driving. Or when you are accused or being arrested.
Okay.
But if I'm just standing around, I don't have a legal obligation to identify myself to anybody. I can verbally tell them my name's Carlos. What's your last name? I don't have to give it, but I can, right? I don't have to show them my ID if I'm just standing there. But why would I make this situation more difficult when it doesn't have to be? They ask me again, "What you doing around here?" I'm frustrated now because why are you guys hassling me? I'm just standing here. "Well, we got a call about a suspicious person." I say, "Sir, honestly, I look suspicious to you?" "Well, like I said, we got a call."
Always a call about.
And all I said to them was, "You have my driver's license. Go talk to the person that called you. I don't have anything else to say." Right? So I know what they gonna do. What am I gonna do? Because I promise you, if I don't give them people my ID, I go to jail that day. And it don't matter that I beat the case.
Or worse, get killed because that's how it starts.
Because if this cat go wild, what I'm gonna do? He go to pop me upside my head and try to slam me on the ground.
Defend myself.
I ain't gonna tussle back.
And
probably so. Killed. And then it's over for me. And everybody on the fucking Facebook trying to parse out whether or not I was right. I'm dead.
It don't matter. Don't matter.
And it's, man, we can't wrap our minds around that, and we should. We really should. Because this world ain't changing fast enough for us to avoid those kind of consequences, man. It ain't changing. It's changing, but it ain't changing fast enough.
So can you wrap your mind around this
a nigga from Beaumont, Texas?
In New Orleans.
Oh.
Can you wrap your mind around that?
I cannot. I don't know what the hell is going on in America. What I do know, here's what I'll say, right? 5 o'clock. I wake up, I go downstairs, smoke a cigarette, I go to put on some coffee. Boom, I click on
you hear him
the
stuttering?
news.
He say go downstairs. But go ahead.
Yeah.
All right. I'm listening.
This what we doing?
I'm listening.
This what we
I'm
doing right
listening.
now?
I'm listening.
Anyway,
Go ahead.
go downstairs, right?
It means it's a 2-story house, but go ahead. Come on.
I ain't finna, y'all know it. I ain't finna do this with him tonight. But anyway,
I'm just saying, man.
click on the news.
My shit is one story.
And I hear that shit.
You know, you get what I'm talking about, man.
Bro, y'all, he could see me walking up while I'm walking up. Don't let him tell y'all. Like, you know, what up, man? You know what I'm saying? This cat can see me walking up while I'm walking up. Don't let him talk to y'all like he living in a closet nowhere around here. Come on, man. But anyway, so when I hear this shit, right, they says that this individual drove a pickup truck through a crowd on Bourbon Street. At the time, they said it was at least 10 people dead, 30 or so people injured.
Like that,
and I'm like, whoa.
Jumped out and started.
What the hell is going? So they didn't say that in the first report that I heard, right?
Yeah.
5 minutes later, they come back and they say the individual. Now, they would not say whether that individual was dead or alive, whether he had been captured or not. The news lady was asking, is this a terrorist event? They would not say that. Here's my problem with that. Foreign or domestic? What could possibly have been hoped for driving through a crowd of people in a pickup truck if not to initiate terror?
To kill a bunch of people, bro.
Even if it wasn't to kill a bunch of people.
It was to terrorize
You
them.
sure wanted to terrorize them.
Man.
But they would not say those words. Then they said the situation was ongoing. There were multiple potential explosive devices located. And I'm like, okay, this shit is wild. This is getting
Sound like he wasn't acting alone.
This is getting out of hand. Then 6:30 or so, they says they had identified him, but they wouldn't identify him to the public, right? And it's like, okay, is he dead or alive? Because they still wouldn't say. It was like 9 o'clock before they said that he was deceased. And then they said that the investigation was ongoing and that they were thinking that he may not have been acting alone. So it's like, why are y'all telling the community they safe then if y'all don't know that? It was a lot that was, and don't get me wrong, I can't blame them, the media, the news, because we did that when we start wanting everything right now. Because 40 years ago, we would have heard about that incident from Dan Rather or Ted Koppel.
Yeah.
And they would have had the information that we want right now. They would have had it. And they would have been able to give it to us.
Fam.
We can't wait.
Depends
now.
on what time of day it happened. You might not have heard it till the next day.
Right.
You get
and
what I'm
it's
saying?
one of them things.
Right.
But the information would definitely have been more accurate. So what happened on this situation is they kept having to change the narrative. They kept having to change the story. And in people's mind that's hearing this over and over again, well, they lying. No, they gaining new information as they investigate. But we won't wait. We want to know now. So they do the best they can to update us every 5 minutes, right? Mm-hmm. We got 24-hour news, and they trying to update us every 5 minutes. But every 5 minutes when we find a cell phone over here, and it's got 2 numbers that's foreign numbers, and then 5 minutes from now, you find out that phone actually belonged to this other guy. It wasn't even his phone, right? So they got to come back. And once that happens 5 times, the information so jumbled up, man, that people don't know what the story is. And that's our fault. Because again, we want everything microwaved. We want it right now. We don't give law enforcement an opportunity to truly investigate before we want answers. We do the same thing with politicians. People wanted Joe Biden on TV making a statement at 5 o'clock, man, and the shit happened at 3:15 in New Orleans.
Yeah.
What he gonna get on there and say? What he's supposed to condemn? He don't even know a fucking thing.
No.
But then people are pissed off because Trump posted on Truth Social that it was a migrant terrorist who entered the country through Eagle Pass 2 days earlier. And that was invalid information.
Yeah.
But somebody told him that. And he just trying to get y'all the news because that's what y'all want, right?
Yeah, the boy from up the street.
But it was inaccurate.
Or from up the street, from right here.
And then they say this cat
15
from
minutes away.
Beaumont. And I'm like, what? What?
Yeah, fam.
What, nigga?
10,
You know what I
15
mean?
minutes away from us, man. Yeah.
That's a wild situation, bro, because I cannot listen. I think what's going on right now in Palestine is atrocious. I think I've said that before on this platform, right? I think at some point they went from fighting Hezbollah to fighting Gaza. And them ain't the same, right? They went from fighting what they believe to be the terrorists to just fighting the people.
Fighting the people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, nobody took the time to really parcel that out, man. So it's a lot of really innocent people that then got killed over there. I think everybody knows that.
Tens of thousands here in the recent
everybody knows that, right?
past. Yeah.
At some point, there's got to be some reason involved. But bro, that's not finna make me do that. Because what the fuck them people on Bourbon Street did, they didn't do that. Whatever your beef is, right, with the United States or its military-industrial complex or whatever other issue is, the folk on Bourbon Street didn't do it.
Right. Because the truth is, you could have there's a legitimate gripe when people have an issue with the military-industrial complex.
Or any other form of our government, right?
There is a legitimate gripe. But them people
on
on Bourbon and Canal had nothing to do with
bro.
your cause.
You know? They didn't do it.
Right.
And it's like, I get I'm going to send a message bit, right? But what
message did you send?
What you told them people? Because they ain't did you nothing.
Right.
So it's like, and again, bro, you know, it's conspiracy theorists running the gamut.
I hate, one thing I hate about this whole situation is that anytime something like this happens, the media don't break down the specifics of reasons why, right? They are quick to just label it, and this is what I heard on the news when he said it. Oh, he was part of Islam.
Islamic terrorists.
Radicalized by ISIS.
Like what?
Right?
Right.
Like it ain't 1,000 different sects.
Exact.
You know?
This is exact words they said. Oh, he was with Islam. First of all, you can't address Islam like it's just
It's one thing.
like it's one thing.
Right.
But that's how the media, every single time
Right.
something like this happened,
Slow hanging fruit, bro.
but what they doing is
Creating a boogeyman.
And they targeting a whole bunch of people that ain't
that
done
ain't
nobody nothing.
ain't done nothing.
You're creating a boogeyman.
Yeah.
So now
Well, then created one. I'm not saying
now
creating. They've created.
when they pass by the masjid in Beaumont or the masjid in Port Arthur and they see niggas that look like me
Right.
or Vietnamese or Mexican, they gonna automatically think
Terrorists.
So I read the news. I read the article. Kevin Steele, who used to be with the local news station, he's an independent journalist now. He was the first person that I saw who posted the identity of the guy, right? And he let it be known, he posted it, you know, hey, look, this is what I'm getting, right? I'm trying to update you guys as quickly as I can. I'm not 100%, but this is the information I'm getting from law enforcement sources and blah, 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 right? And people started commenting under that they knew the guy, that, you know, they went to high school with him and stuff like that. And this lady, immediately, can't trust them Muslims. I'm sorry, but you can't. Ma'am, are you fucking kidding me right now? Another thing too. But she dead ass, bro. This lady's living her life like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's really, and I know this is a really light term to use, but it is terribly unfortunate because it's a lot of people in that net.
Over
You know what I mean?
What they said now, 2 billion? That then became a Muslim in the world?
Yes, and it's the second largest religion in the world, right?
It's almost 1 billion in Indonesia alone. There,
Yeah.
man. It's like it's
2 billion?
people don't know that's the largest. You know, it's a lot, man.
Yeah.
You casting a really
Really
wide net.
and
man.
it was just like, and it's just like with
Like, damn,
most other
bro.
religions like Christianity. Then you have all these denominations and different sects of it, bro.
And you know what?
And
Fuck
you have
that.
your radicalized
Right?
parts,
Leaving
just like
all
Humanists,
that aside.
all that.
right,
Leaving
man.
all that aside, right? When the white dude killed all them
They
people
never-
out the
they-
damn
they didn't say
casino
it was a
window in
Christian.
Vegas, didn't nobody
They didn't say it
care
was a
about what his
Christian.
religion was.
No.
They didn't say it was a Christian. A Christian
Right.
came in there and killed all them
know?
black people in church. They didn't say that.
Do they call the Klan Christian terrorists?
No, they don't say call them Christian terror. When they believe that they are the white supremacists and the only Christians on this earth.
Yeah, they don't call the Klan Christian terror. The ABs, because most of
Quite
them are
frankly,
Christians
they
as
are.
well.
They are.
They are.
They just are. But that jacket ain't being put on them because it would affect everybody else under the Christian
Everybody
umbrella,
else.
right? And it's so they are able to segment that. And I don't understand why we can't segment the rest of that. Because a radicalized Muslim is not he a radicalized Muslim.
They just that.
Right?
That's just
It's-
that.
what that got to do with this guy? He ain't done you nothing,
Right.
right? But it's the same. They apply that same monolithic value to black people. When you see somebody black,
Unless
do
you wanted the
something
good
wild,
ones. Unless you wanted the good
even
ones.
then, right? Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Unless you wanted the good
You
ones.
know, when I do something fly and I hear this man say, "Nah, see, he one of them clean niggas like Obama."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man. Yeah.
But when you do something messed up, as a black person, they say, "See, I told y'all, them blacks." But when this white guy do something, he just a stupid white guy. He's just some stupid, and it's like we do that to each other too, though. We are embarrassed behind the actions of other black people. It was people on that site, on that same comment section, saying, is he black?
Yeah, I seen that.
And the lady say, well, look at his name. He don't look black to me. Man, that's a nigga all day. That's a nigga, bro. It's like, stop that. What are y'all talking about? This is a nigga all day, man. The police pull this guy over. They're not going to say Middle Eastern.
No.
That's a nigga. And that's okay. What he did is fucked up. If that was legit him and he legit did that shit, it's fucked up. That don't make me fucked up. That don't make black America fucked up. That make him fucked up. That's fucked up what he did, right? But there's a lot to unpack with that situation. I don't understand it. And my problem is that we never will because this guy's dead. And he the only person who could tell us what the fuck he was thinking.
He the only one could make a statement and give a right.
You know.
And he was murdered on the scene, and rightfully so. He
I
got
ain't gonna
out
say he was
shooting.
murdered. Yeah, because shit. Apparently he hit 2 officers.
Yeah.
They had to get this dude out of there, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, what was it, 5-6 hours later, this Tesla Cybertruck blows up in front of Trump Tower in Vegas.
In Vegas.
And and again, this is
And are they trying to tie all this together?
this is internet conspiracy stuff. Both of the individuals involved were supposedly ex-military,
Okay.
right? But I read, and y'all I don't know this, right? I read this. That don't mean it's true. I read it somewhere. But the guy was supposedly found in the truck with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. And he supposedly left a note somewhere that said he was going to get their attention with fireworks and explosives because that's where we are. We respond or we react to sensationalism and violence or whatever, right?
Which is true.
But what was also said in that same little piece that I read, was that the Cybertruck was on autopilot.
So he may have been shot or dead already.
That's, I think, what they were implying, that he may have been dead before the truck got there. I don't know that. That's just.
But what about the explosive going off?
That's,
See,
they haven't said anything about.
Because the dude in New Orleans had explosives in his truck as well, right?
They said he had some improvised IEDs or something, right? But I mean, he had some IEDs. They thought he had positioned some in other places maybe.
Right.
I think they were searching around. They had some drones up in the air for a while.
They was acting like this was supposed to be a
Cybertruck
big
guy,
old thing.
They didn't say what triggered the explosives. Couldn't have been him if he was already dead, right?
Did they say?
Was it on the timer? Was it remotely
did
detonated?
Did they say what race he was?
They had his photo, and they had his name. So he was a white guy. They had his photo, and they had the two photos of the two gentlemen. I think one of them was the guy in Vegas was a Marine, and the guy in New Orleans was Army.
Right.
I think they had their photos side by side, and just it was kind of like are these connected, right? But like I say, this is a conspiracy theory thing. This wasn't. I don't even want to use the term legitimate mainstream media site, because our mainstream media has, in my opinion,
is controlled,
turned into
a press
arm of the established government. Right, whatever the White House at the time want them to put out, that's what they're
going to put out.
And that's unfortunate too, because they used to just report the news. All these opinion and think pieces, man, it started coming out. It started tainting the truth, because people see what they already believe.
Again, I'm old enough to remember when the news was that they read in a monotone a lot of times.
Right. Didn't give no opinions.
Not finna be crying and all that.
Like I said, dude, we said this before. We said this before.
Mess people be doing,
and this before our time. But when Walter Cronkite broke down and cried on the news when Kennedy got shot,
it was shocking.
They talked about that shit for 50 years, bro. Because that was the first time they said something.
People couldn't believe it.
Because he showed some emotion while reading the news, bro.
And now you got, but everybody's a talking head.
Right.
Everybody's an expert.
Everybody has a brand or something to push.
And
social media.
And that's the thing, man. Just because you have an opinion don't mean you should express it all
That's just
the time.
what I'm saying. And then they tell everybody what their opinion of the situation is. Man, we don't care what your opinion is. Your opinion ain't no more valid than the next guy.
But you get these, you got these old folks, because I've been in a lot of old folks' homes. The first thing I see on their TV is Fox News when I'm turning on their gas. And they run with that. Who's ever on there giving an opinion.
Yeah.
It can be Cheryl from around the block, but if she's on TV with a mic in front of her face and she says something, they gonna take that as law.
Yeah. I've had people tell me that they couldn't put it on there if it wasn't true. Yeah. They believe that, bro.
Bro, I remember.
They believe that.
I remember as a kid.
They can't put it on TV if it ain't true. And I
remember as a kid,
was dumbfounded.
The first time they showed the Rodney King video, right? And we were all horrified. I'm like fourth, fifth grade, horrified that this was on camera, right? But I remember the broadcast, the anchor, not showing no vocal inflection, no nothing, bro.
The beating went on for several minutes. The officers involved have all been such.
Bro.
The individual who appears to have been beaten was taken to a
read
hospital.
The news,
blah,
man.
blah, blah. And that's it.
They reported
and then they would go in other news.
That's how that went. That's how that went. They didn't come back to it.
Birthday party and blah, 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 right?
They didn't come back to it.
You know?
Now you got people like Nancy Grace.
Yeah. When the riots jumped off. I don't know if you remember that. When the riots jumped off, it wasn't a bunch of.
Wasn't nobody screaming.
I think they broke.
Reginald Denny got hit in the face.
Yeah, I think
people weren't screaming and hollering, bro. They weren't aghast.
Yeah, I think the World Series was going on, and I think it may have broke to that, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't no.
And everybody saw it coming. Right?
Ain't no doubt.
They were ready to break to it because they saw it coming.
Right, no doubt.
When the verdict was read, everybody knew what was
finna happen. Right.
Now, can't nobody today, bro, 52 years old, not a single person has ever been able to explain to me how or why those 5 officers were acquitted in that case. This guy didn't throw a punch. He didn't attempt to run.
Dude.
They beat him.
They got in a circle.
4 minutes.
And they beat that man till they was tired.
And they were not guilty.
On camera. And the bad thing about that is, wasn't nobody in the black community shocked.
And black people think justice is equal.
But none of us, like, that wasn't the first time a black person got their ass kicked. It was the first time a black person got their ass kicked on camera.
And it's like...
The bad thing was so many people, and I'm a kid at the time, so I didn't relate personally, but it was so many people could relate to something like that in our community, man. It was so...
So I got him another one, right? But you know what? In this... You know what came out before anything
what's even
else?
worse was, man, I remember what you call it got his ass whooped worse than that.
Oh, he was hopped up on PCP.
Yeah, I remember that original story. I remember that original story. Yeah.
Like what does that have to do with...
They told me he was on Sherm. I remember that.
Well, we had to get this guy under control. Where was he out of control?
Yeah.
And again, they can just say that. I mean? They can just say that.
Yeah.
They can just say that.
I mean, dude, they had to retry them, and then they still got some bullshit punk ass time after they retried them.
You know what somebody said to me? I would like to know what was occurring before the video started. What would need to have occurred to justify that? Because whatever you need to have occurred, that's what happened. Because clearly you're trying to find a reason to justify this, right? For you to say, I want to see the whole video. We don't know what was happening before that. What would need to be happening to make
that dude would have to be doing some
they
foul,
got in a circle and
bogus,
they took
like,
turns.
Yes.
They hit him 50 some times with them billy clubs, man. They took turns and they beat him till they was,
until they were all tired.
Till they were tired.
Bro.
How long you gotta be beating on a motherfucker till you get tired, man? And it's a group of y'all in the street taking turns, bro.
But
and they still walked. And the only reason they retried him and gave him any kind of time was because of the reaction when they first because of the riots.
And even then, now that was federal. The state didn't retry them.
No, so the feds ended up getting them. And there still was some bullshit. But ain't none of them did over a nickel, huh?
But look at the guy.
All of them didn't even do time though, if I ain't mistaken, right?
No.
Right. Okay.
But look at the guy, Johannes Mayerl, who killed Oscar Grant. Bro, it was 200 witnesses to that.
He didn't get nothing, huh?
Man shot that boy in the back. Oops. I thought that was my taser.
Yeah.
Hung the jury.
But it's situations like these.
What about on Oakland on the BART that time?
That's Oscar Grant. That's Johannes Mayerl. Yeah.
It's situations like these.
He ended up getting federal, but the state.
That was in Oakland. That was in Oakland?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's situations like these that have black people going to bat for someone who's totally in the wrong.
This is the problem I have with that.
It's not right. It's not right. It's not right.
No, that's true.
But it's situations like that.
It's situations like that will make you say, no, I'm going to back the black person regardless.
And when we do the black person regardless thing, it diminishes the argument.
It does. No, it does. But this has been the reaction, though, Los. You know this, right?
I can't listen, man. I can't go out there. Don't advocate for me. And I'm out there doing bullshit. Yeah. Because it's going to diminish your advocacy for somebody who's actually innocent.
Right.
Whether we want that to be the case or not, that is the case.
Yeah.
We all knew.
And we know it, but
we agree, but that ain't what's happening, though.
We all know OJ did it, but we cheered like a motherfucker when he was not guilty.
Sure.
Reason why?
Because of all the innocent black people who have been...
This is the problem I have, though. That's great. We can do that. I got no issue with that. Yeah. I do have an issue if we would have cried foul when he was convicted. Because that's what we're doing here. If somebody guilty and they get away, all right, Cool. We won one, right?
Yeah, that's what that was. That was the first high
Right, we won
profile
one.
case we saw where somebody was.
But that same
probably
guilty motherfucker, when they get hit,
Yeah.
don't act like it's a foul going on, man. We know what. Come on, man. You know that OJ done that shit. So when they jammed him up on the memorabilia shit, OJ, you supposed to sit your ass down.
Hey, man.
You beat him. You got away with one. What the fuck you go back in the file for?
And the judge kept saying, this sentencing has nothing to do with any past crimes.
Which told me it absolutely
had
did.
everything to do with it.
Everything.
That judge repeated that several times.
Like, for real,
when
though, bro.
reading off of his sentence.
Like, for real, though, what you thought it was a
they
game
gave him
juice?
30 years
You know?
for
for
going to get
stealing,
his shit back.
for stealing some shit.
Yeah.
30
He
years.
brandished a weapon.
A B&E,
And
basically what it
Blah,
was.
blah, blah, right? Menacing, right?
Okay.
You know, man, Juice, you supposed to sit your ass down somewhere, fam. Like, bro, this was the most high-profile murder trial in the history of the United States. That shit was bigger than Capone.
It was big.
She was on TV
And
every
you
day.
beat
It
him.
was on TV every single day.
I'm going to tell you how big it
It was
was.
on TV every day.
Not only was it on TV, it was on TV every day in prison. I was in the penitentiary watching the OJ trial. Every fucking day when we got out the fields, that's the first thing we did, is went watch that fucking trial, man.
Yeah. Hey, man, did you
That's
ever-
how big it was.
Did you see on the 30 for 30 that Made in America by OJ, right? And they interviewed that old black woman who was on the jury. And she openly admitted that she voted innocent because of the Rodney King shit.
Goddamn right.
She didn't give a fuck.
He could have done it.
Yeah.
He could have done it.
She said, they say, was this a
could've
reaction
done
or like a get back for the Rodney King? She said, it absolutely was. Fuck y'all.
Hey, man, listen. Jury nullification has been a thing.
Yeah.
It's illegal, but it happens all the fucking time. Right? And again, I got no issue with that. I do have an issue when we act like people ain't guilty at all. Because again, it diminishes the advocacy for true innocence.
Yeah.
It's cats out there that really ain't done nothing that's getting fucked over.
Right.
Let's fight for them. But when every time we back the wrong horse, it set us back, man. Because they get to say, ha ha, see, look.
Told you. Yeah.
And we don't wait. We don't wait. We jump the fucking gun all the time. We jump the gun all the time, man. And when his grandma's saying, my grandbaby ain't done nothing, we just believe her. But you know her grandbaby. Get the fuck off the internet with it. You know her grandbaby.
You know he a goddamn
You know what?
fool.
You know this nigga.
You know he probably did that shit, man.
You know what I'm saying?
That sound like him.
You know this
Yeah,
nigga.
it sound like him.
So what is you doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because what you think, the truth ain't gonna come to light? Because that's what happened 2 days ago, bro. The initial video came out, and it was 500 people in the fucking comments saying, see, she wasn't even doing, he wasn't even talking to her. This some bullshit, because he just ran and jumped on her car for nothing. And then when somebody else posted the other video of him actually talking to her, what y'all gonna say now?
Yeah.
Because you were loud and wrong. What you gonna say now? Because initially y'all swore to God she wasn't being detained.
Yeah.
She was an innocent bystander who was just walking to her car. And he just went and jumped on her car
Yeah, they
out the
say-
fucking blue.
How is she evading and she wasn't even under arrest?
And then when the other video come
Yeah.
out, you just gonna get quiet now?
Yeah.
You think that people didn't hear you before? Of course they did.
Yeah. Well, no,
So
what they
it's
end
like-
up doing then is they try to deflect and put the attention on something else when that come out.
Which is the officer jumping on the
on
car,
the car.
like, which was crazy. Don't get me wrong, that was wild.
Right.
I did not expect him to do that.
Yeah, that was insane.
But I'll say this, his injury aside, and I hope the guy makes a full and speedy recovery, right? That's not what I was expecting to happen. I thought he was going to draw his weapon. I really did. I'm glad he didn't do that. But there are dozens of instances where we've seen he going to draw his weapon.
We've seen that's the first thing they do in some situations, bro.
So the guy exercised some restraint. He didn't, I mean, the whole thing was crazy because it looked like he kind of took off after in slow motion. Like he really didn't expect her to try to drive off.
What was he gonna do when he got in there?
That's what.
Like,
That's
what's the
my
next move?
question.
What's the next move?
Man?
What's the next
So,
move?
are you gonna?
You don't want to know what the next move
You gonna
is.
wrestle with her over the steering wheel and possibly
That's possible.
crash?
That's possible. Or
You shoot her.
he gonna draw his weapon and say, "Stop the car or else." And if she don't, he stops her. We don't want that though. He wrong for that, right? But is he really? Because again, if I believe you intoxicated and I tell you don't leave and you go anyway, if I let you go and something happens to somebody else, that's on me. I can't tell you what that man was thinking his duty was in that moment. Only he can do that. But again, I don't envy the police their positions. I wouldn't do that job for them. So some of that shit to me, really, really subjective. But when I listen to the experts, and I consider police officers experts, right?
Right. It's supposed to be.
Even their assessment runs the gambit. Well, this is what I would have done. This was perfectly reasonable in my estimation. Oh, man, that was some stupid ass, dumb ass shit. Yeah. Even in the law enforcement community, what is not in dispute, though, is her evading led to the injury.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't in dispute. Her leaving the scene in that vehicle led to his injury.
Yeah.
That's a fact and it's not in dispute.
Yeah.
I've been in the streets before.
Allegedly.
In my past, right?
Long.
Statute of limitations is up on
long time ago.
The statute of limitations.
I only know three cops on the force that's like legit. Maul being one of them.
Yeah. What you consider reasonable?
No, this
not
is
crooked.
This is a
like
this is a
up.
fact. This is a fact. This is a fact. The things they would do, some of them,
To make a case?
to make a case, to play the cat and mouse game, to entertain themselves. I can't. Sometimes
It's hard to take their side, huh?
it's hard.
But you have to consider what a powerful position that is, man. And power corrupts. And absolute power corrupts absolutely.
And so it's a big mistake to try to give them full immunity. And what
They
that
all
on the
but have it
current,
already, bro.
that's on the current president agenda, ain't it?
It is. It is. For official acts anyway, I
Right.
mean, but bro, it's that's why, again, I wouldn't want that job.
No.
Because don't get me wrong, I'm in a position of power where I'm employed. I have more influence than power, but I do have some power. It is an exercise to be sure that I don't ever abuse it.
And that could be
It
hard.
takes work.
That could be hard, bro. Because
These dudes walking around like that all day, every day. They got a pistol, you don't.
it's hard, bro.
They got the law on their side, you don't.
They got an ego.
They have
They
public
have a-
perception on their side, you
You
don't.
see it every day.
Right.
Like you say, on the job, and you get somebody, get some position, get a status, get a title, and you see how that person changes.
Bro, I bullshit you not. This is a true story.
You see it every day.
I go to the barber shop one day. Shout out to Dov at the chop shop, right? I go to the chop shop one day, early one morning. I'm trying to get dubbed up because I'm finna take a trip, right? And I want a fresh cut. Me and the wife was finna go to New Orleans. I pull up to the chop shop. Dov ain't there yet, right? I already know Chuck and them ain't gonna be there for a couple of hours. Dov would usually get there early. So I'm like, I'm gonna let Dov cut me because I gotta get out of here early, right? I pull up. It's probably 6:30 in the morning, 7 o'clock, some shit like that. This is when I had the Volvo. So I got a 4-door Volvo S80. A Volvo, bro. Say, I ain't know. I'm in a Volvo. It's a 1999 model. This is like 2013 or some shit. It's like 2012 or something, right? I put all 4 of my windows down. I'm smoking a cigarette, listening to my music, waiting on Dolph to get there. I look in my rear view, and I see a police car behind me. So I'm like, wonder what's going on out here. I look this way. When I look to my right, this dude got his head in my window looking around. I say, sir, what the fuck are you doing? What you doing up here? Man, don't put your fucking head in my window like that. What's wrong with you? Young guy. Other officers standing at the police car. I say, man, what's wrong with you? What the hell are you doing? I'm trying to figure out what's going on. What the fuck you mean, what's going on? Well, sir, you ain't. I say, man, you scared the shit out of me. You stuck your head in my window. Why would you do that? Well, you got your music loud. That's a violation. I say, sir, this is not a residential area. It's commercial. I'm not violating an ordinance here. What do you want? Oh, well, you know something about the... Well, you must have got jammed up for this before. I say, no, I read the city charter. That's where the ordinances are. Have you read it? Because if you had, you probably wouldn't be jamming me up like this, man. Like, what you doing, though, bro? You put your head in my window. What's going on? What is wrong with you? You got some idea? I do, but you still ain't told me what the hell. Well, we got a call. I say, who called you, man? You lying your fucking ass off. Who called you? It's a metal shop next door. They not open. It's a washateria on the other side. They not open. The building directly next to the chop shop actually belongs to me. The building across the street is a boot shop that belongs to a friend of mine. He not open. So who called you and told you that my music was loud? Because it's a commercial block. Man, ain't nobody heard that shit. You ain't here till you walked up. Fuck you talking about? But while I was saying all of that, bro, I was handing him my driver's license. Because I have an obligation to. Now he's stuck. Well, I mean, I'm not trying to be an asshole. Man, I ain't calling you no names, man. I'm asking you what you're doing. It's too early in the morning for this, for real. I get it. You thought maybe you had a collar. That's not me. Leave me alone, please. I'm just trying to get a haircut, man. He take my driver's license, he go back. He don't even run me. I watch him in my rear view. He talked for about 30 seconds with the other policeman standing outside his car, come back around him in my license and say, you can go.
And that was just him flexing muscle.
It's power.
Though. Just flexing muscle. Yeah.
It's power, bro. I can't imagine what it's like to have to try and restrain that every day, all day. Because he could have kept on fucking with me if he had chosen to. What I believe is he wanted to and his partner wouldn't let him. That's what I believe. That's what the look on his face told me. That's what his body language said. That's why he took my ID. He wanted to run it. Problem is, state of Texas say you got to have probable cause to run me. What did I do? What was I being suspected of? That call he claimed he got had to be bogus, because if somebody would have legitimately called, that would have been probable cause for him to run my license.
Mm-hmm. What about a head like this out? That's probable cause to run a license?
It is.
Okay, never mind.
At the end of the day, it's a moving violation, right?
Right.
What about mistaken identity? Because I remember vividly just pulling up at BoDean's house, and just because we was in a candy blue car, we all was face down with guns on
I
us.
remember that. Never forget that.
This the type of shit that makes me like, I don't like
the institution, bro. I really don't. But I understand they function. I don't always understand their function in our community. Because I'll be the first person to tell you that we over-policed. And they'll say we put more police in the black community because that's where the crime happens. No. The crime is reported more because there are more police.
Right.
They don't want to hear that. They don't want, and again, that's partially, we reinforce that stigma because we don't police our own communities. Because this is the thing, bro. I live in a neighborhood right now, right? It's all kind of people live on my block. Well, I'm shitting. I live in a cul-de-sac, right?
2-story house. Go ahead.
In a cul-de-sac. Let somebody on my motherfucking block start selling dope and I see it. I'm putting them laws on their motherfucking ass, man. Get up, fuck up out my neighborhood with that bullshit. You not finna ruin, let a motherfucking car be broke down on my street for more than a week. You got to come get that, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to come get that, bro. You fucking up the block. The imagery is all off now. You know what I mean? This is what has been going on in other communities forever, bro. We do not do that. We don't want to tell on this motherfucking pedophile because his grandma a good church member. Man, run this hoe off.
Yeah.
This nigga Juju been hustling out his mama house for 15 years, man. It done been 3 murders and 47 robberies around this fucking apartment, and we ain't gonna tell nobody nothing. Until that's our nephew getting killed outside Juju place.
Right, then it's an issue.
Now we mad about it. And we got the nerve with a straight face to say the police don't do shit. But we don't do shit. Yeah. So at some point I gotta take the focus off of them and put it, in my opinion, where it belongs. Because we can get rid of their ass, bro. All we gotta do is stand there and look at them. We got this. But you know what we have to do? When that body drop, the motherfucker that dropped that body gotta be delivered to them people.
Right.
And we won't do it. What we do instead is hide him in our closet. We don't really want him to get away, though, do we? Or do we? Do we want him to get away?
Our actions show that we do.
Because, I mean, I don't know, man. We don't seem to be consistent with that. Because, like, for real, if that's a police officer kill somebody outside Juju, we raising hell in the street and we want justice to be served. We want that motherfucking officer hung up by his toes.
Yeah, but if
burned alive.
If that's a neighbor who did it.
But if that's black that kill that boy outside Juju,
yeah.
Man, I ain't.
Don't nobody know
what's
nothing.
Going on, man.
They don't nobody know nothing.
So this guy's life is diminished because he was killed by one of us?
Yeah.
He ain't supposed to get no press unless he killed by the police? I think it's a bad deal all the way around, and we got to address that internally, you know? But, because like, bro, if everything them people saying is true, this cat from BoDean is a bad look. You know what I mean?
It's a terrible look.
It's a bad look. The way they framing it makes it even fucking worse. And they know that.
Which I think.
You think some of it is
I think some of it is
hyperbole, some bullshit.
Absolutely, it's purposeful.
Man, I think
there's an agenda at play, no doubt. It's something coming. It's something they want to do. But they can't just do it because we will rebel against it, right? So they set the stage and make us ask them for it.
It was
That's what happened with Pfizer.
It was in 01, the 911.
Yeah. People don't talk about that. Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, right? Allows them to spy, basically, on American citizens.
Sure.
They apply for these secret warrants with this secret court. And they say this is what we believe based on these key words and phrases uttered by this individual over the telephone or via the internet. Yeah. How you got that information?
Right.
We got an algorithm. We got an algorithm that's tracking it.
Yeah.
Are you serious right now? But we asked for that. We asked for that after 9/11.
That's the Patriot Act, all that shit.
We asked for that.
Right. 9/11 was able.
And I mean, the Patriot Act been in existence.
Yeah.
They just enhanced it. But we asked for the enhancement because we were the ones complaining about what the FBI knew and should have knew and didn't do and should have done. And they said, okay, listen, guys, I mean, we can do it, but it's going to require a little bit of your liberty. I don't care. I want to be safe. I'm not going to live like this. And somebody in the background was saying, worked.
Yeah. You allowed a catastrophe to happen.
So, and then you got the solution
all
along
when,
to the catastrophe that you create.
When it's things like that that happen, I'm not even gonna say agenda's being pushed, but
Exactly what it is, though.
like you can't help but sometimes think like, come on, man.
The world's a stage, bro.
Come on, man.
The world's a stage.
How many conspiracy theories, whatever, but come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, I am too.
You come through. Well. Oh, he had the Quran open when he. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
This trailer that looks abandoned. Guys, just go look at the video.
You know what I didn't notice?
That trailer looked abandoned.
If he was so much,
and then he talked to nobody in that neighborhood
of a Muslim like that, where was all this? The stuff to complete all the rituals, the prayer rugs, where was all that? Oh, but the Quran was there, open, right?
This the thing, though, bro. It's easy for them to say that to somebody like me because I'm not Muslim.
Exactly.
I don't know no better. I don't know that other stuff is supposed to be there.
Exactly.
They just show the book.
So all these white folks that's watching Fox News and this and that, the Quran.
I bet you it was opened up to a certain surah.
The people they
probably
selling
was open
that
up to the index
to,
where in the back where it's not even no words or nothing. Just they don't even know what they looking at.
Yeah.
But the people they selling that narrative to don't know enough about Islam.
No, they don't.
Know what you just said.
They don't. They don't know nothing
like
about
say, no prayer rugs.
All they know.
Where all
the
paraphernalia. If he was that much of it, man, I seen that video. Ain't nothing in his background said he was a Muslim.
Nothing, bro. Nothing.
Ain't nothing in his background said he was a Muslim.
Nothing, bro.
I ain't seen no dicker beads, no moon with the no crescent moon.
None of the beads,
none of that.
None of it.
None of that.
No kufis,
none of that.
They got drone or helicopter video, and they were cutting it off at a part of the property. Man, that property look abandoned. They got the street blocked off, but there's other houses on that block. They didn't talk to nobody. The news didn't interview a single person. You telling me don't nobody live up there? Nobody? Supposedly 3 trailers on this property. Did all of them belong to him? Did one of them who the other 2 belong to? Right? How did y'all even know that that's where he resided? That's what I'm saying, bro. It's
like you said.
That same hanky, but
they doing a lot of things to set the stage.
Mm-hmm. For something else.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm glad we're recording this because we can come back to this and be like, remember when you said that?
Yeah.
And now look what they just pushed out to the people.
You got to have a boogeyman a lot of times because that's the only time you get the people to
come together.
I'm telling you.
Create a boogeyman. Man.
We will do it. We going to come out and say we need to. And they going to say, you know what? I got one. Here we are. Here's what we can do for you.
Create a boogeyman.
Right? Elon Musk has been working on a thing here. Or, you know what I mean?
See, I thought it was going to be aliens because all this shit was going on.
I thought so too.
I thought it was going to be what?
Aliens. I thought that was going to be the boogeyman.
I thought it was going to be
ready for that?
Project Bluebeam, but we're going to say that for another episode.
With the drone shit that was going on in New Jersey.
I thought that's what it was
and shit, I was like, I wonder what's going on with that.
That's what
I believe that drone thing was a failure. They was trying something. Yeah. They was trying to.
We figured out it was drones.
But
see, they didn't want to say that at first.
Yeah. But they was trying something. Mm-hmm. They was finna probably project something that the whole world can see at one time, and we finna, you know what I'm saying?
And I can't say they couldn't do it because I just watched the Chinese.
Exactly.
Bro, they had a whole fucking dragon.
Exactly.
Climbing into the sky.
With what, about 1,000 drones, and all of them did the same thing, was creating shit and all that?
5,000. This motherfucker was it was a big old red dragon, bro.
I didn't see that. I gotta go look that up.
And that's just with
so beautiful,
that's just with the lights on the drone that they move like that.
Then after it come through, it was a bling, and it was 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now imagine if they was to create, if they have some big ass drone that can create like a fucking.
When they said a couple of these was the sizes like SUVs.
The same thing like they had Tupac, the holographic shit.
Listen, bro,
come together. Come on, man.
They just did it. The Detroit Lions just had one of the Lions eating the 49er.
That shit ain't cool.
When they played them. They just had, it was drones. They just had.
You know what I'm saying?
The Lions came down and ate the 49er.
Now imagine something on a huge, big scale like that.
It's one of those things where this is again, I work for this organization, right? We got a drone program. One of these drones barely fits in the back of my pickup.
I seen how big that one in Jersey was. That
we
motherfucker
use it
was
for
huge.
tank inspections, but it is sturdy enough and strong enough that it can actually carry a hydroblast one. We can set up what they call a 2D stick under the bottom of it. They got a 2D tool, they call it. And it basically got water jets that come out both ways. They can hang that under the bottom of that fucking drone and do tank cleaning with it.
It probably could carry like
it's strong. Yeah. And they got, when it's sat down, it's bigger than this table. Like I say, it barely fits in the back of my pickup.
Oh, they said the ones in Jersey was big size of SUVs. Yeah. So
that's why they was telling people not to fucking shoot them. People was talking about shooting them down. They was telling people don't do that because you don't know where this fucking thing's gonna land.
That's why I think it was a failure.
But this goes way back, and this is just
failure.
me. And I don't want to get too far deep off into this shit, but this go way back to the Baltimore Bridge collapse, bro. It's a lot that be going on that I don't think goes on for no reason, right? But I try not to get too deep into it because I don't want to run myself crazy trying to figure shit out that don't matter. In the long run, what am I going to be able to do about it if I find out that all of this is fucked up?
That's another thing too. Like, okay,
what
the government is trying to fake some shit. Okay, now what?
What then?
Now what?
What do I do?
What
then?
What?
Because the long and the short answer,
I'm gonna go to work the next day. I'm still go to work the next day.
I still gotta eat. I still gotta take care of my family, man. I can't go to my wife and tell my wife, listen, I'm not doing anything else because this was a bullshit false flag operation over here and I don't like it. My wife gonna look at me upside my head and say, man, I need these fucking groceries.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm henpecked. That's why she on my shirt. I'm gonna do whatever fuck she tell me because, you know, I'm gonna do whatever fuck she tell me because I don't want her to leave me. Somebody said something on Facebook the other day about if your partner got sick, would you bathe them and wipe them?
Yeah, so I seen that.
I'll wipe her right now.
I seen that.
If she tell me to. She ain't gotta be sick.
Seen that.
If she just don't feel like doing it, I'm gonna do it. I don't want her to leave.
I seen that.
Fuck is wrong with y'all? Man, that's simp shit. Whatever. It's the whole reason I married is because I'm simping for her. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like, who not simping for their wife? What kind of nigga is you? You know what I'm saying? You ain't simping for your wife, nigga?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she get the whole check. Whole thing. Yeah, whatever she want. Shit. But yeah, no, man, I think I think in about 3 or 4 weeks, right? After this inauguration, we're going to see and hear some things that'll either confirm what we already believe or reject some of the premises we have. But we gotta all we can do is wait and see, bro.
I think it might be a little longer than that.
Think?
I think it's a build up. It's a build up. It's a build up.
Thing I say about the Trumpster, man, is he don't pull no punches. Because he don't have to, right? He been rich his whole life. He ain't never really had to ask nobody a whole bunch of nothing about nothing. And he old now. He don't care. So I think whatever his agenda is, he gonna come.
We got to see what he gonna do. We got to see what he gonna do.
You know,
because he can come in there and be like, "I'm just gonna do my 4, and I'm finna blow the top off of this whole thing."
I mean, motherfucker pushing 100. He ain't fall behind biting. People act like he in good shape for a guy his age, right?
Yeah.
But that shit changes very quickly.
But
you know?
But he protected.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, he tired.
Look, Trump.
I don't know what he got going on over
there. Hold on, my phone went off.
Trump know
getting fussing like the babies. Right?
Trump know if when he come out of office, they gonna go at him.
Yeah, but I think at this point, man,
they gonna go at him.
If he's any other father, I would say he would be setting the stage for one of his children. But he's not that type of person. He doesn't.
I think he's setting the stage for Elon.
Compassion or care.
I think he's setting the stage for Elon.
No, he's immigrant though.
He can't be president.
Yeah, but But
you ain't got to change. But it's.
I don't know.
I don't think it's as much as him setting the stage for Elon. I think he admires him because Elon got more money than him, and that's what Trump values. That's why he look at him that way. That's why he look at Vivek the way he does. They got more money than he does.
Yeah.
Anybody that got more money and more power than him, he admires them. And he look up to him, which is crazy, but it's true. You can tell the way he operates with them.
yeah,
When it's somebody that he don't feel like he dismissive as shit of them. These dudes, and it's like he don't know what they say because they got money.
and give him high praise.
Yeah. And it's like it's who he is as a person.
Well,
And he loves people looking up to him and admiring him. That's the ego there. Anyway, y'all, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up now, man. We can't give him everything on one show.
Yeah,
we got to give him a reason to come back for more.
We gave him a lot
we
tonight.
we definitely got to come back to this.
We got to come back for more. So, man, any shout-outs, Los?
No, I think I threw some shout outs in there while we was talking, man. Look, shout out to everybody just trying to make it out there, man. It's 2025, right? Let's go into this thing with a new mindset, man. Whatever was holding you back last year, push through it. It's worth it. It's the only thing I can tell people. Push through it. It's worth it. I got some shit I'm pushing through myself right now because I know it's going to be worth it. You know, I ain't going to stop pushing. That's all.
JK, you got any shout-outs, man?
I don't really have a shout out, but if you listen, watching at this episode, particularly, we talked a lot about law enforcement and our dealings with law enforcement. And no matter where you stand for something. Right or wrong, no matter where you stand, just stand for something. And that's all I got.
Okay. I want to send a shout-out to all the Triple Beamers nationwide. Thank y'all for tuning in. Man, y'all follow us, man. Y'all share, man. Y'all help spread the word, man, of this podcast, man. Let's get this thing out. Shout out to my boy Fred out in H-Town, a.k.a. Buck. Hold your head, baby. Shout out to all my people locally, man. Love y'all. And again, let's take this thing, man. You got any way you can meet them or they can get a hold of us, JK? We got any kind of...
Well,
What is it on YouTube, on
YouTube, Triple Beam Radio. You know, come show your support.
IG
Subscribe.
Triple Beam Radio. All
IG
one
Triple
word.
Beam Radio. TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok is the number 3 Beam Radio.
3 Beam Radio.
Yeah.
And well, that's about it.
Yeah, man. Just we own the Apple Podcast app.
We on all your
streaming platforms.
All your streaming platforms. Wherever you at in the world, if you looking at this on YouTube and wanna you in India and have some kind of platform, we over there too.
Yeah.
I paid for it, so
Holla at us,
it better
man.
be over there.
Holla at us,
Holla at us,
man.
man. You get in you get on the platforms, man. Drop your comments, man.
Yeah,
Got something you think we need to be talking about that we
drop a
ain't?
comment.
If we slipping, we ain't on top of
Drop
our
your comments,
game.
like,
holla.
share, subscribe.
definitely leave comments. Leave comments.
Let us
Like,
know
share,
something,
subscribe, man. Like, share, and subscribe.
What I can tell you,
We'll answer back.
that's the first thing. The second thing is we have an array of topics. I mean, we know how to do a little research. We gonna give it to you the way we see it
I might
in that
start a
moment.
Patreon so I could get really
Well,
down and dirty and get jiggy with y'all.
What's the deal with the
That's like a
Patreon?
paywall. Patreon.
Okay.
yeah, that's farther down the line. But what's finna
It's
come,
coming.
what's about to come, if we can get more engagement and we see people want to engage, we might have a hotline.
Yeah, we can do some call-ins. Do some live
have
shows with call-ins.
some live calls. Get people on the horn. They wanna ask a question, and
I'm down.
we got two of the
You
best
gonna
right
let
here to
me
answer.
answer?
You know what I mean?
We gonna try to do a little something. Yeah. We gonna
Y'all gonna let me answer?
We gonna try to do a little something. Right? Gotta watch this. I'm just saying.
See, y'all gonna let me answer?
Gotta watch it, bro. Yeah. No, we gonna try to do it. We gonna look at it. Little niggas used to say that. We gonna look at it.
All right. Well, man, once again, man, thank y'all for tuning in, man, and we out.
All right, now. Yeah, nigga, see